drivers by signing up for your Alabama Distinctive PTSD Awareness license plate today. The great thing is you can sign up no matter when your current plate renews, and the first year is complimentary. All you need is your VIN number on hand. Drive awareness, drive hope, and customize your plate today at atease.org.
An investigation is underway in Talladega after 4 adults were found dead inside an apartment. 3 males and 1 female were located after the female's grandmother called police for a welfare check. The cause of death has not yet been released in this case. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Wet feet, melting popsicles, puppy prints. Summer is hard on floors, but Pergo Vinyl by Mohawk is kid-proof, pet-proof, and life-proof. And right now during the Pergo event at Prattville Carpet, you can get luxury vinyl, worry-free floors, plus up to $1,000 in rebates on qualifying Pergo products. So gorgeous new floors up to $1,000 back. And did I mention 12 months no interest? Get the details and shop Mohawk's Pergo event now through August 11th at PrattvilleCarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
Progressive knows when you own a boat or RV, it's like you're automatically on vacation, even if you're actually a marriage counselor in the middle of couples therapy. But in your mind, you're camping in Acadia, puttering around Frenchman Bay. Your boat and RV are both protected. You're lobster drenched in butter and... Uh-oh, did your clients just notice you weren't listening? Quick, do the thing where you just repeat back exactly what they said, but as a question. They bought it. Now back to Maine, earning an automatic discount bundling your boat or RV with your home or auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere. From dust mites, pet dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
Sponsored by Armstrong Pharmaceuticals.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Yourself in a democracy.
After damning politicians uphill and down dale for many years as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels, I sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of them.
Joey Clark.
Well, welcome back to me. Welcome back to Eddie. Welcome back to the program after a long, much-needed 4th of July break. I was just telling Eddie off air, Nashville's a pretty daggum cool town.
Yeah?
Yeah. And not just the cliche stuff. I mean, the hot chicken it's hot and delicious, no doubt. But there's just so much to do without it being too big of a city.
Yeah.
Yeah, really enjoyed it on the 4th of July evening. They're right on the Interstate 40 with a sound wall, but they have an upstairs and a rooftop. So we got up on the rooftop, and when you look to the east, you see the interstate flowing into the downtown and the skyline, and there were fireworks going off
everywhere, right?
360 degrees around us.
Cool view.
Really, like people get into it over there, and really enjoyed that. But I don't know, how was Jamaica?
It's great. It's great. Still struggling with the fact I'm not there right now. It was great though.
And I'm struggling too. I have to admit it.
It was a great vacation. We lost Wi-Fi for a couple of days, which at first, honestly, I was a little annoyed because, it's an addiction, to be honest what it is. After the second day though, it was all right. I couldn't tell what was going on in the world. I didn't really care.
Yeah.
I had everything I wanted in front of me.
Right.
It was great. It really was. And it was a great vacation, very well relaxed. But one of the best part was we took Susanna's mom, and those two, not that they've ever disconnected, but they reconnected so well. It was great just watching them 24/7 together, being together and having a good time. And then we asked her mom at the end, wouldn't you like to move here? Oh, no. It's like, what? You're like,
Well,
no.
And, it's amazing seeing my niece, like almost 2 years
Watch
old.
her grow up.
Yeah, and she's adorable. And obviously, I didn't ever have to be the enforcer. But man,
you're the spoiler.
It's the straight, like, toddler. Even when she's happy, it's loud noises, baby, all the time. But she's amazingly vocal and verbal for her age. Like we were watching some like Wild Kingdom or like Under the Sea, like one of these nature documentaries. I go, that's a coral reef. And she says, coral reef. Like she like can repeat anything back you throw at
That's
her.
good.
Most
of the time.
I have to admit, my brother and his wife Caroline are doing well, but they looked exhausted, not just from, taking care of a toddler, but they just moved to Nashville.
Well, like we were saying, that's the two most stressful things in the world, and they're experiencing it at the same
Both
time.
at the same time, but I think they got a great setup.
Good.
And just to double down on the point, it really is a cool, booming city that's alive. Ate way too much, drank too much on particular nights. Hadn't done that in a while. I'm still dealing with the after effects. I'm like, oh my God. But walked after this huge dinner. I told you about is the Iberian pig where they do tapas and all that stuff. Oh my God. Like that was one of the better meals I've eaten in a long, long time. Walked to Broadway and to just walk it off.
Yeah.
And I have to say, it was way too daggum hot. There are too many people. I
how was your people tolerance there?
Yeah,
Joey?
I was gonna try to stay with it because, let's just go walking because there's no covering. You walk into anywhere, walk into Kid Rock's bar. They had a cool cover band going, saying, you tip 20, you tip 100. We'll play whatever song you got, and they were fantastic. But after hearing a few songs, of course, they play Sweet Home Alabama. Somebody drunk up front is to play Sweet Home Alabama. Like, really? I can't escape it.
Yep.
But I was like, I'm not 20. I'm not 25 years old anymore. Let's get out of here. But then went to the comedy club, Zanies.
How was that?
Fun. Good set. It was called the Zanies All Stars. A bunch of local and folks just traveling through. But the headliner was a guy that we knew in high school. It was my brother's age, over at Catholic, Aaron Weber.
Really?
And he's doing really well on a podcast with Nate Bargatze's touring. Did Bert's big tour where he had all sorts of comedians with him.
Yep.
Yeah, did that tour with Bert and them, the Fully Loaded tour. And got to talk to him afterwards, at least 5-10 minutes. He's a family man himself, having to get back to his little girl. But, it was all in all a very good trip. And as I got back to Montgomery, it's not so much like I enjoy being at home. And Montgomery, though, is so quiet.
Oh, yeah.
Like, essentially a city 10 times bigger than Montgomery. You're like, man, there's so many. Like, one night, or first night, they were all tired. They're tired. I'm tired. Let's order in. The options.
Really?
Options
I didn't even think about that.
On just your Uber Eats and your
buffet,
DoorDash is like, it's unreal. It's like, here in Montgomery, you got a few. But it was like every category of every particular thing. And I'm like, man, I can see the charm of living in a city that's big.
Yeah. Now, was there still a lot of building going on? You see cranes and stuff up?
No.
Really?
Not much. It was, interstate was smooth. Like, I really was like, I don't want to drive through all the city traffic. No, I went and picked up Caroline from the Vanderbilt Children's Hospital in downtown, and Zizi went to the Parthenon.
Yeah.
They have an exact replica of the Parthenon, and it's pretty cool. I have to say, the statue of Athena, like 60 something feet tall, is
impressive, is it?
It's impressive, but also creepy. Very creepy.
Don't stare at her too long, Joey.
I have to say there were a lot of people out, and it's an impressive town and a lot of activity going on there. And it's like, how do we bring some of that energy back local? And then as I slowly get home, and I honestly did not want to write my column last night. I wrote it. I started looking at the news, and I'm like, bah humbug.
Yeah.
That said, there is a lot that happened over the 4th of July holiday.
Yeah.
The big, beautiful bill was signed into law.
Yeah.
Do we still think it's big and beautiful?
It's big.
Yeah, it's big. It's a big old pork-filled sausage.
And
everybody's selling that sausage, except for a few gadflies that, actually took seriously the promises of, say, reducing our spending problems. But everybody's selling that sausage. Today, Trump just came out. Let me look real quick here. And he said that Elon Musk is going off the rails because in response to the passage of the omnibus spending bill, Elon has started the America Party.
Yeah, not the worst idea.
And we'll get into more detail with that.
I think we'll see a definite age split between the Musk and the Trumpers.
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh,
And
I'll get to that.
I'm riding that line.
It's what I wrote about.
Yeah.
This, because, I will say tomorrow will be 10 years. The day my mother passed was July 8th. It'll be 10 years. And I'm like, you know what? I just want the day to come and go.
Yeah. Just want to be
I don't want to commemorate it. I want to, let's just write about some stupid politics. So I think you're right about the generational divide.
I think it'll show, and I think it's going to be incredibly obvious. I just hope it'll be civil.
As civil as we can be these days.
You old fart. Yeah, see, I know
good luck dealing with the boomers.
See?
Yeah, so also, though, the Trump DOJ came out. Like, so you're already pissing off the Elon Musk internet crowd, like the tech bros.
Yep.
Then this dropped. The Trump DOJ, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel at FBI, Dan Bongino there as deputy director of the FBI. Jeffrey Epstein was not murdered, and there was no blackmail operation or client list.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
What?
That one kind of stung a little bit.
Like,
I've never had more expectations of people in my life. And then here we go again.
I know.
I took a bite of the crap sandwich. And I would rather them just not answer it than just openly lie to me.
Sure. I mean, and there's still a lot of stuff that could come good out of the Trump administration, but the DOJ promises, this was another big promise. We're going to take on the deep state, in particular.
No Epstein list.
Oh, there's no
said
list.
They're not right.
Then
Why does Maxine whatever in jail?
Yeah, Ghislaine Maxwell. Yeah.
Well, why is she in jail?
Right. No clients.
Right. I mean,
he just had a big island with all these people hanging out.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing. He didn't kill himself. Or he did kill himself. He wasn't murdered. Excuse me. Pardon me. I think my favorite tweet I saw in response to this is JFK didn't kill himself.
It's really, once again, lesson learned. You get too kind of involved in politics. You get too believe in the hype.
Why did Pam Bondi say the files are on my desk? Remember when they came out with the binders? Yeah, with the influencers who are just. The more and more I watch this play out, there are different types of people. We were celebrating Trump's win.
Yeah.
Because we really wanted it to happen for all sorts of reasons. But there are some folks, I guess it's because they make a living off of it, where daddy can do no wrong.
Yeah,
I'm like, daddy is drunk. Daddy is cheating. Yeah. Daddy doesn't care about you and what you scored on that math test. Like, daddy's got his own thing going on. And maybe when you grow up, you'll understand why daddy drinks and fools around and stuff. You're like, I kind of was judgmental of dad.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that can happen.
Sure.
But right now, it's like he definitely does wrong. Like, let's keep going down the list. So there's no Epstein client list. And he wasn't murdered. He did, in fact, kill himself. And, there's no foul play. No, nothing like that.
Okay.
The tariff deadline?
Yeah.
Now delayed to August. They'll extend the deadline a little bit.
That doesn't bother me so much because I get negotiating and you got to do things.
Sure.
I get that.
Though Trump announces today, this broke just about an hour ago, 25% tariffs on Japan and South Korea.
Yeah. Well,
by the way,
it'll change by the end of the week.
That mega bill, that omnibus bill, the big, beautiful bill, did not eliminate taxes on Social Security, but it did increase the standard deduction for seniors.
What about the
tax exemption for Social Security goes from 64% of Social Security beneficiaries to 88% of Social Security beneficiaries. On the tip, there's also a ceiling.
That's what I was wondering if they're going to cap it.
They did cap it. And so you can now keep up to, somebody did the math, a little more than $200 a month extra in tips that don't have to go to taxes.
$200?
Yeah.
Dude, that's a good table.
Right.
I
know. And it's just like, especially after this thing went through the Senate, and even folks that kind of like the bill, they're like, well, let's see it play out. And I can make the arguments the Trump administration's making. Again, we'll see about the effects of this thing. But even the folks defending it are like, this is the most confusing tax structure I've ever seen. Like, it's all these sorts of things to say we got the promise in, but then it's capped or it's like means tested in particular way. It's crazy.
It's crap.
Or it's times like sunsets. So like, it'll last for a few years and it'll go away. Why do we even go into all this?
Oh, that's another thing I missed about Jamaica. They're in the middle of an election.
Yeah.
And besides the car driving by with the loudspeaker, blah, 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 I didn't care what was going on.
Right.
I didn't care. I couldn't do nothing about it, and I accepted it.
But by the way, I'm disappointed in this. I wanted the Doge approach. I wanted the actual cut spending aggressive. Remember me yelling about the wrecking ball strategy?
I remember us celebrating it.
Or the chainsaw, Malay giving Musk the chainsaw, and like all the boomers went, oh, that's just too over the top. We just can't have that. We're a serious nation. Are we? Are we a serious nation?
Kind of feel silly with that now, Joe.
As you eat yourself into the couch and laugh at America's Got Talent, are we? And watch the latest episode of NCIS. Is this a serious nation, really? But Javier Milei?
Yeah. How's he doing?
Their GDP grew in the second quarter by 7.6%. Wow is right. I've got a chart here that shows this whole no pain, no gain strategy.
What he did's working.
It's working beautifully. In the first quarter of last year, after all the massive cuts, like 70% reduction in government spending and firing all sorts of employees. I wish we could have done that here. There was a 5% negative GDP growth, 5% GDP contraction that first quarter. Next quarter, it was negative 1.3. Third quarter of 24, it was negative 1.9. Fourth quarter of 2024, 2.6% growth. First quarter of this year, 25, 5.8% growth. Second quarter, again, 7.6% growth. You get the slop out of the way. You get rid of the rot. You essentially rebuild, reset. You use the wrecking ball. And you let the talented people of your nation go and be entrepreneurs. And guess what? It works. And if it works for Argentina, it would certainly work beautifully here.
I'm saying you let the cream rise to the top, man.
But no, we can't have such nice things.
My only last hope is, and I know it'll turn our economy around, which is our economy is doing pretty good from someone that's in the middle of it. We can get interest rates lowered. Then I think we can grow our way out of it. But right now, it's
by the way,
heading to stagflation.
You better be stacking those sats, buying up that Bitcoin. If they'd put interest rates lower, like print more money, it's like, okay.
I really think because so many people are on that bubble where they want to move forward, they want to upsize, especially in the housing market. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. But they're not because of interest rates.
All right.
And I will give Trump the credit. He does give Jerome Powell hell about that.
Yeah.
And
I was telling you off air, I won't give all the details on air, but went with my brother friend to buy a new car.
Yeah.
And the interest rates, he has a very good credit, and the interest rates are ridiculous.
Especially with auto manufacturers because they own the product.
Yep.
It's usually so much cheaper and better incentives to go through the auto manufacturer, especially in the first time and then refi a week later. But when you see those, and there's they're going down. Repos are on the way up. When you see that number finally kind of flatten out where car sales are just flat, you'll see the incentives come back, and you'll see the interest rates to 1% or 0%, because that moves vehicles.
And so there is talk of Besant, who's become really the point man for the administration. I didn't think when we were going through all the cabinet hearings and
he'd be the
that
man.
Besant would be the master communicator, but it looks like he's the man.
Yeah.
Him and JD Vance.
Yep.
And of course, we'll get to Tom Homan. We'll get to what could be a massive breakthrough in the Middle East. Massive breakthrough. Some top sheiks.
Yeah.
And leaders there saying, we want to drop the Palestinian Authority and have our own little emirate and join the Abraham Accords.
Yeah.
Like, if that is actually going through, I think that is a huge
great
win.
idea. But again, over there you have...
Well, how long do those guys live?
Yeah, they benefit from more better, so...
But I mean, these are big religious leaders there in that part of the world, like not far from Jerusalem in the West Bank, saying, we are tired of the fighting.
Yeah.
Like, we want to coexist. We're tired of our leadership. If you get rid of the Palestinian Authority, you get rid of Hamas, you have essentially all these emirates come in and you let them do what they've done in Saudi, what they've done in UAE, Qatar, and yada, yada, yada. I think it might work. But we'll see. We'll get into the details.
You saw with Iran, they're cracking down on some things over there.
Oh, I did. A little bit. Yeah.
I think they realize they've been infiltrated by Mossad a lot.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, Tucker Carlson has made everybody mad, especially Mark Levin. What about the Constitution of the United States? Tucker!
What did Tucker do?
He interviewed the president of Iran.
I thought so. I thought I saw a clip of that when I was either going or coming back.
No, he did an introduction clip to go watch on the site. The full interview is now dropped on X and YouTube and stuff. So, yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch it. But everybody's going nuts about it. Like, how dare Tucker Carlson do this? Like, one of the clips that came out of it is the Iranian president saying we don't have, like, sleeper cells in the U.S. We wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't say they wouldn't do that.
Well, the U.S. government says they would do that. They're just not very good at it.
That is more believable, to be honest.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, yeah.
But
didn't they get mad when he went and spoke with Putin? But at the end of the day, most people enjoyed that interview very much. Is it not important to know whether you like him or not, what the other side is thinking?
And Tucker said that he was trying to get an interview with Bibi Netanyahu. He's asked him several times, and Netanyahu said,
nope. He won't get it.
So coming back, though, to the big, say, rift in the coalition that brought Trump back to the White House in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
This is a quote from Elon Musk. He put this out on Twitter over the weekend. The America Party is needed to fight the Republican-Democrat uniparty. Yeah.
Not arguing there.
Now, some say Elon Musk creating a third party is a bad idea.
Why?
They say it will upset the delicate balance between the two major parties in vying for political power. They say it will unnecessarily complicate the electoral map.
Bring on the wrecking ball, baby.
They say it might even disrupt trust in the plan.
Well, they're making me like this a lot.
Yeah, I fail to see why this is a bad thing, especially if Musk succeeds in pressuring Washington, D.C. to get serious about quitting their dangerous addiction to spending money they don't have.
Yeah.
It's a good sign of a good thing that Musk America Party is already making the political class, including Trump's big spending MAGA GOP, nervous. They know the threat is real and deserve to be a little ill at ease after unceremoniously muzzling and putting DOJ on a leash. The $5 trillion debt ceiling hike, get this, which will only last 25 months at current spending levels.
Then what do we do, Joe?
We'll have to raise it again. Or we'll cut spending at that point.
No, I go with the first one.
It'll only last a little over 2 years.
It won't
$5
last that
trillion.
long. It won't last that long.
Right. But the $5 trillion debt ceiling hike stuffed into Trump's latest omnibus spending bill is a damned dirty double cross of those of us who love the spirit of Doge.
Okay.
Who love the spirit of Malay. Who love the idea of taking on the wrecking, taking with the wrecking ball on the uniparty, yada, yada, yada. No. That's the big admission, by the way. It's like all these cuts, and the Democrats are complaining about Medicaid cuts.
Let them complain.
Actually, like all that crap.
The mean-spirited
like
bills.
The Democrat versus Republican thing. It's like the biggest admission to this of all you're cutting and we're getting in the right shape is you raised it $5 trillion, knowing you're probably going to spend that. And for a fact, you're admitting you're spending $5 trillion in the next 2 years.
Yes. Have you ever had a budget that you didn't spend all of it, Joey, and then come back for more?
So 2 years from now, we're going to be easily over 40 trillion. And that's not getting into all sorts of unfunded liabilities and yada, yada. But, that's just people who love the whole Doge idea, the wrecking ball idea. Can you imagine how personally betrayed Elon Musk feels?
Yeah.
But GOP operatives and MAGA influencers know this. Know it's a betrayal and are rightfully nervous that Musk could crack the coalition that swept Trump back into power in 2024. Predictably, they're already alluding to how Ross Perot's third-party run handed Bill Clinton the White House in the early 90s, as though a second-term H.W. Bush would have been some wonderful thing. By the way, it wasn't Perot. It was that appearance on Arsenio with the saxophone.
With the sax?
Yeah, it was awesome.
I thought it was him talking about how he didn't inhale.
I mean, it's a little of both. Yeah, I love that's Christopher Hitchens. He's like, I was at Oxford at the same time as him. We had pot brownies.
We had brownies.
Yeah. But yeah, they're already bringing up the Perot thing. It's just more lazy boomer con thinking. On the contrary, all signs suggest Musk's political project is not going to be that kind of third party, at least not initially. Playing the spoiler, the America Party plan appears to be to hammer the GOP with the single issue of the national debt in upcoming congressional elections. Make MAGA stay true to their word on cutting spending by threatening the sting of well-funded competition from Musk's political gadflies. As Scott Adams recently laid out on X, and Musk reposted this to his massive online audience, here's what Adams had to say. If you're an analogy thinker, you compare Musk's New America Party to Ross Perot's third party run and conclude it's bad for Republicans. But that would only be the case if Musk someday backs an American Party candidate for president, and I don't see that in his plan. If Musk only backs individual senators and representatives for his new party, as he has hinted, all he does is give Republicans a new way to get past politics to solutions the country wants and needs, such as deficit reduction. The beta version might be buggy, so expect bumps. In response to that post and news about that, Musk said backing a candidate for president is not out of the question, but the focus for the next 12 months is on the House and the Senate. No doubt the 2028 presidential cycle is an eternity away in politics. Who knows what Musk or anyone else will do in presidential politics 3 years from now? The focus should and will be on the next 12 months leading up to the midterms. Perhaps Trump and team can rack up enough wins in the next year that there's no amount of money Musk can spend to make a difference. Perhaps not. Yet for all their promises made, promises kept, and largest tax cut in history talking points, Trump and MAGA particularly need a booming economy like Javier Milei has, but he didn't take his approach. But they need a booming economy by America's 250th birthday next year, or they're in big trouble. James Carville was correct in that 1992 presidential campaign against Bush and Perot. It really is the economy, stupid. To boot, if Trump and team hope to claim they are growing their way out of America's debt crisis, there needs to be an actual growing economy. If not, then the odds of Musk's America Party playing the spoiler get much higher.
Yeah.
And though it is an eternity away, those odds get even higher should America's debt problems worsen come the 2028 presidential cycle, which is a highly likely outcome given the current fiscal policy. And you think all of a sudden by 27, when the debt ceilings hit, they're going to be like, oh yeah, we'll cut all the spending.
Joey, I'm going to go with no on that.
So we'll most likely be in even more debt, like 45 trillion by the time the 2028 presidential cycle comes around.
Yep.
Well, it's not just having like Trump and the GOP and MAGA right now, like you had Trump at the White House, but a post-Trump GOP, which they will be by the time 2028 comes around.
Yeah.
A post-Trump GOP should be very wary of being on the wrong side of this debt issue.
Yep.
And Mr. Musk. Else the big spending MAGA GOP may learn the hard way that populism can be a wild and fickle beast, and they'll deserve their defeat. Y'all don't take this seriously. You deserve your defeat. Now you can say, well, people... No, I'm tired of the excuses. I really am. And you see a lot of these excuses. And maybe they pull off some economic miracle, or we're growing at 4+% heading into... Okay. I'll believe it when I see it.
I do too, but I see the potential for that. I just don't see government getting out of the way yet.
Well, they got out of the way a little bit.
It just what we need a little more.
Yeah. We'll
Almost
give you a
double.
little bit of reduction in tax on tips and overtime and so we'll give you a little bit of that.
That's just that's going to be a heck of a talking point for your Democrat Party, by the way, when they run.
Well, if the Democrats can pull their head out of their ass. Like, I mean, seriously, there
I
are
agree.
smart young Democrats out there.
Where they at?
But right, the ones
Where
right
they
now
at?
that run in front of the camera, y'all some dumb mofos.
It's
dumb.
It's embarrassing. It is embarrassing because they're Americans too.
So welcome back, Eddie. I was seeing your photos from Jamaica, and I'm like, man, that looks amazing. I see why you go there.
It was the food amazing. We had a chef. We had the chef 3 meals a day if you wanted. He made a big breakfast every morning, and it was what you wanted. I mean, I had fruit. You had like a 5-course meal for breakfast. You had 3 kinds of fruit. Then you'd have eggs, and then you'd have bacon, and then you'd have the fresh squeezed juice. And then a few minutes later, he'd bring out, hey, what else you want? You're like, I got to roll my fat butt down the stairs to get to the beach now. So it was great. I'd move there if I could. Man.
Well, I always wanted, I went to that Iberian pig place.
Yes.
Because I always wanted to try like the Iberico ham, like the jamon that's like full acorn fed. That's really, really expensive.
Yeah.
I was like, they got it. They had some chef special, like here's the shoulder, here's more the ham hock, like the leg, like and it came with like black truffle honey and house made mustard and
cool.
like these roasted almonds on, and it was very, very good. And then you do the tapas thing. I'm sure you've been to a tapas place. Oh, so it's like a bunch of little plates, like the croquetas are little fried balls of cheese and some of that Iberico ham in like this spicy aioli sauce.
Yeah.
It's just like 4 bites. And then we got what they call a bikini, which was a perfectly made little grilled cheese.
No crust?
With that Hamon ham and this and black truffle, all this stuff. Oh my God. And like some meatballs, and like you can just order. You could get octopus. You could get scallop. It's just a huge meal.
Yeah, I saw the octopus on their website. It looked really, really good.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, I'm eating good. I'm eating all right.
Hit the scales yet there, Chubbs?
Yeah, no, I definitely put on some weight. No,
that's a good thing, though, Joey.
But it's not. It's not
vacation.
It's not necessarily I put on that much weight. I actually did good about like not eating most of the day.
Yeah, you didn't get to exercise a whole lot.
Right. On the 4th of July, I might have ate some of my niece's cupcakes they bought for her while I was watching a movie.
I love a
you
good
know how
cupcake.
that is. You know? Well, I ate a blue one, and damn, that stained my.
Yeah.
Woke up in the next morning, I'm like, why is my mouth blue?
I think it's shame is why they do that.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but it's not so much the weight. It's like I got off my regimen of drinking the AG1 and, and the probiotics. So I'm like, I'm good for a few days. I'll need to do my normal routine. And it's like the bubble gut and the bloat comes back quick.
Dude, that's how I feel today after eating 24 hours of American food and processed and everything else. Yeah.
Oh, and I've left out, and it's actually in the news. I stopped by Boosie's.
Yeah. Twice. We just hit on the way there.
Well, there was one in Athens, Alabama, just north of Huntsville, right before you cross the Tennessee line. And when I got there, the first time it was not packed, got in and out pretty quick. I'm like, I've never been inside a Boosie's.
Get in and out.
I didn't get anything that time. I just got gas.
You are a unicorn.
Yeah. Well, because I was early enough. I left at like 5:30 in the morning, so they didn't have the brisket sandwiches.
But they got great breakfast sandwiches.
Yeah, I was like, I'm good. I'm fine. I'm just trying to get there. But by the way, as I pulled out of there, I'm hearing this under my car. I'm like, oh God, I still got like 2 hours left. And I got there, kind of subsided. Looks like the front's like skid guard or whatever over the oil pan, like just came loose. The bolts fell out, and like, all right. Well,
those bolts just went up by 25%, by the way.
I know. I have to take that up. Like, I got a local mechanic just take it off. They didn't even charge me. They're like, take this to whoever did this and go give them hell. They might have stripped the screws or something.
Yeah.
But on the way back, I'm like, well, I just want to go. Like, I don't want to stop in Tennessee somewhere. I'll stop at the Boosie's again.
Idea.
This was yesterday. My God, it added 30, 45 minutes to my trip. Like the amount of people, like with all those pumps. Yeah, just getting out of the parking lot.
Yep.
Now, I did get a brisket sandwich. Like, ate it in the parking lot as I'm sitting there waiting. Like,
is there a better time to eat it?
It was awesome. I have to say, Boosie's has got it going on.
The beef jerky. I took Marvin probably $50 worth of beef jerky.
And
amazing.
Apparently, they're expanding to new states.
Oh,
yeah. All over. So we've got plenty of them.
Texas, I know, and they're heading south. I think they're based out of Texas. And they're not on top of each other. I mean, they're many miles apart. They got a good business plan going.
Yeah, where are they going? They're opening their first Mississippi location in early June.
Mississippi.
They opened their first Virginia location and their third store in Georgia. It operates 54 stores across 9 states with other stores in Alabama, Colorado, Florida, Kentucky, Missouri, South Carolina, and Tennessee. The company has undergone a major multi-state expansion since 2019. Buc-ee's has several more sites that are already under construction, one in Arkansas. And I have to say, I get it. After going in there, I get it. What a great little.
Have you bought a shirt yet, though?
No, I didn't.
You hadn't officially joined the club. Do you buy a shirt?
I didn't do that.
I've bought shirts for Marvin. They have Buc-ee shirts.
Actually, stopping on the way back was stupid. I was like, I need to get home.
I know, but it's a good break from just the road, man.
Right. And it is impressive. Low gas prices, too. I'm impressed with that. So the Buc-ee's is, I think, a good institution.
Oh, 100%.
And I had families going, y'all want to take a picture next to Buc-ee here? Statue?
See, you'll do that soon, Joey. It's coming.
Dad, no, we have to get to our cheer competition. No, come on, sweetheart. Get next to Boosie's. Let's take a photo.
That's right. You got to mark it.
I literally heard that conversation. It was great.
Well, did you see also one of the good things about Boosie's? They show what they pay people.
Yeah, I saw that on the going in. Yeah.
How many people,
pretty awesome.
Honestly, when they're pumping gas, went, well, damn, I might get a good career here at the Boosie's after all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they don't pay bad at all.
Yeah, get to meet a lot of different types of folks. Yeah. Anyway, good to be back.
Yeah, it is.
I suppose it's good to be back in my own bed.
Yeah,
actually do like Montgomery. It's much quieter than Nashville, but the politics, man. I'm just looking at this. I'm like, come on.
It didn't take. I think we were back in Atlanta 10 minutes where I was like, man, I'm sick of people already. I swear we walked 4 miles from the plane to customs. I hope they got, and that's why they do it, to get a good look at you. So I hope they got a good look at us.
Yeah, and I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming as soon as I got into Kid Rock's bar and that band was going, Sweet Home Alabama. I'm like, oh God, I have to go back. Anyway. We got to hit this break. First, though, this part of the program brought to you by our great sponsor, Pest Pro Services.
Oh, yeah.
And they're at Pest Pro. Ashley and that fantastic team are ready to help you with any and all of your pest control needs. I love this new monthly subscription model they now have.
I like that idea, Joey.
So now it's predictable what your pest control will cost.
Then you can control it.
Yeah. It's kind of like, you have a regular water bill or you have a regular power bill. You just add it to your regular overhead.
Yep.
And you're not going to get some surprise bill. You get to know these folks. It all starts with basic pest control protection. You can add to that yearly inspection and year-long protection against termites. You can then add to that getting rid of those ticks and fleas.
Yep, and the mosquitoes.
Yes, the mosquito coverage. And I think they show up 7-8 times a year.
Yep, they came while I was in Jamaica.
And it works. So y'all check out Pest Pro Services. You can always go to ppsriverregion.com to learn more, or just go to Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. Just search for them on Facebook, or you can always call them direct. Be like, hey, I heard that Joey and Eddie guy I'm back from vacation talking about y'all. 265-9990. That's 265-9990. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro Services, and be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey and Eddie sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. Did you know the current national average turn time to close on a mortgage is 48 business days? But not at Alabama Home Mortgage. At Alabama Home Mortgage, our average close time is 16 business days. That's a month faster than the rest. How do we do it? With over 60 years of combined experience in the industry. Our team knows mortgages. Our years of experience yield a better experience for our customers. Folks, time is money. Whether you're looking to buy or refi, don't waste time with another mortgage company, bank, or credit union. We close on time, every time. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our fast turn time is just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
Sell your house the easy way. Call Rapid Fire Home Buyers today.
Do you have real estate problems? Whether you're facing foreclosure, inherited a property, or have costly repairs, we understand. At Rapid Fire Home Buyers, we're here to help. Any condition, any situation, we'll give you an honest cash offer for your home so you can move forward. We've dealt with more real estate problems than anyone else in the River region. If you're dealing with foreclosure, major repairs, or having trouble selling your home, we will buy your house today. We've worked with hundreds of homeowners in the River region. It's easy to get started. Just call 334-675-1000 to claim your cash offer today. That's 334-675-1000. Because when real estate problems cause uncertainty, you deserve a solution you can trust. Any condition, any situation, we're here to help. Call 334-675-1000 to claim your cash offer for your house.
Sell your house the easy way. Call Rapid Fire Home Buyers today.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
They curl up at our feet. They greet us like heroes. Pets aren't just animals. They're family. But right now, so many in our local shelters are still waiting for someone to call their own. That's why we're teaming up with River Region Humane Societies for our annual Paw It Forward Pet Drive. And we need your help. Starting next week, help us stuff the Sprinter van with food, toys, blankets, and badly needed supplies at any of our 6 sponsor locations. Together, we can give these animals the comfort they need while they wait for the love they deserve.
To find out how you can help, visit newstalk931.com.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Hi, everybody. No surprise, big heat, lots of humidity, and random storms will dominate our forecast. High today and tomorrow about 96, heat index triple-digit level. Sunshine will be in abundance, but there will be those scattered, random afternoon and evening showers and storms dotting the radar screen. Some towns get a big downpour, other towns get skipped. That scenario continues through Wednesday. By Thursday, the storms will be a little bit more numerous. Lows at night in the muggy mid-70s, and even Wednesday and Thursday highs will still be in the middle 90s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
You can make your ASE loan payment from your phone anytime, anywhere. It's quick and easy. YourASECreditUnion.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal Opportunity Lender.
ASE Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASE.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Honestly, though, when I have time off, I really don't know what to even do with myself most of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of
I get it.
Lounge around.
I become like it's crazy enough. I think even Susanna's mom said, you're like a 10-year-old. I stayed in the ocean. I literally stayed in.
You just stayed in the ocean.
2 and 3 times a day, I would go snorkeling.
It looks like you got some good sun.
Yeah. I did it right. I did sunblock first day and then burnt like crazy the rest.
Yeah, I mean, we did a big 4th of July, like my, I guess, sister-in-law. My brother's wife is a fellow for pediatrics at Vanderbilt Children's Hospital, and so she invited over some other fellows she had just met.
Yeah.
And an old friend who had their little girl, a little toddler. So seeing like Lucy, my niece, walked up and go, "Baby, you're a baby. I'm a baby." Like it was like, "Oh, let's
Baby's
play
first
together."
friends, yeah.
And that little girl loved the freaking dogs, like doggy.
Yeah.
And so we set up. They had a little pool with a plastic slide, and they were taking turns going up and down the slide. And they loved the bubble machine.
Oh yeah. Kids love bubbles.
My brother's like, this thing takes 6 AA batteries,
It's
and
worth
then
every one of them,
you
though,
turn
man.
them on, and you're like, "Oh, I see, man."
Yes.
Go through some bubble solution.
I saw your picture of the bubbles there.
Yeah, it was
pretty nice.
it was an interesting moment. I was like, yeah, I'll just let it happen.
There you go. Shh.
Yeah. Yeah, and I have to say the toddler just like no, like answering no to everything is hilarious. But that little girl, man, she makes my heart sing. I told my brother this, I'll tell the audience this. I occupy mostly a world of old men and cynicism when it comes to especially the politics.
Yes.
And so to see a little person who's my own flesh and blood, my own family, be just so genuine, so unique, good and bad, like the the tantrums and
that personality.
Oh, it's just absolutely makes my heart sing.
And then later on in life, even when she's in her say double digits, 10, 11, you're going to remember. I remember that personality way back when. She's still got that.
Well, and it's a good reminder that everybody was once that.
Yeah.
Like Donald Trump was once that. Elon Musk was once that. Even Jeffrey Epstein was once. Oh, and by the way, we didn't get to talk about this because we're both gone. But did you see that Diddy was convicted somewhat, but the biggest charges were dropped? And I love the baby oil memes.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few of those.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like Diddy on his first day in prison, and it just shows him sliding through the bars.
But what did they end up getting him on? The RICO charges didn't stick.
Transporting for prostitution. I think it's something like 10 years. I don't know what the sentence will finally be.
I don't know much about that, so it just.
Yeah, but it was like transporting people for prostitution purposes.
Some of the testimony.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you read any of it. Mm. He talks about some comedians that we know.
Yeah.
And the things that they were doing at the party.
Uh-huh.
And I found it incredibly disturbing. I hope it's a lie, but I got to remember it's testimony.
Wait, which comedian?
Cedric the Entertainer.
Oh no.
He was riding.
He was what?
Riding like a bicycle.
Riding a bicycle?
But it wasn't a bicycle.
Oh, it was one of those things that like it's
and he literally quoted something while he was
autoerotic.
Yeah.
I was trying to come up with a good term for it, not the terms I would normally use.
Right. Yes. And I mean, they're just dropping these names.
They didn't bring up Bernie Mac, did they?
No, but I
Thank
think
God.
because he had passed away, I think they had some respect for his name, but I don't know.
But
a lot of weirdos out there.
Yeah. Well, he got off easy.
I think
like
so.
if they didn't get him on the worst stuff, but still he's convicted of the prostitution.
I kind of feel like they Epstein him, where they set him up to do stuff, and at some point he either got out of control or didn't want to do what they wanted to do anymore, and so they said, "All right, closing up on you, buddy."
Well, and again, that's what the Trump DOJ is saying. Pam Bondi one day said, "I got all the files on my desk, and we're looking at it." And now they've come out and said the client list is, and it was never real.
How do we, as a population, get to hit the BS button? Because there ought to be one there. We as a population go, you know what? You got to come up with something.
You support the America Party.
That's not
Elon
a bad
Musk
idea
America
either,
Party. Now, I don't know if we're going to have any of that action here in Alabama.
Well, what happened to our Tea Party? That's the thing that sucks about the third parties.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're incredibly different, you just get absorbed.
Oh, no, but that's success. Elon Musk will have success. It's not necessarily he in the America Party needs to win a bunch of elections. They just need to be enough of a spoiler to where, in particular, the GOP, but maybe some of the Democrats will get wise, actually adopt being serious about our spending problem and our debt.
I wish somebody would.
And so that would be, if it's a single issue party, you don't have to, as a party, necessarily win and see that issue through. You just get enough support to where one of the major parties adopts that position. And so we're good. That's all we wanted.
If they adopt it, but like with the Tea Party, they didn't really adopt it. They just absorbed them and shut them up. And that was disappointing.
It is disappointing. Anyway, I got to hit another break. First, this part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting. And there at River Region Contracting, Todd Clark and that fantastic team are ready to help you with a roof of yours.
I'll be calling them up today. We've got a new client that, yes, they definitely need a roof on their house. We're looking at daylight.
Oh, my.
They bought it that way and they knew that.
Okay. All right. Let's say.
Yeah, but still.
You need to check.
Yeah, we're beyond the inspection phase on this one. They're coming out to give them a quote on a new roof.
So they can do the new roofs.
Yes.
And of course, they can also do the inspections.
Yep.
For your current roof. Make sure it's all jammed up and jelly tight, as the song says.
And then with this one here, Joey, when they go to take the roof off, obviously they're going to see some plywood issues. So they're going to take care of that as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Don't have to bring in any extra help. They got all that lined up.
They're not going to be stumped.
No.
They don't pay for their leads. They're not associated with any other roofing contractor. They can do it all.
Yep.
And again, those inspections they do are always free. Their estimates, they'll write those up for free. And they're insurance specialists, so they can walk you through the insurance claims process you might be nervous about and make it a swift and easy experience. So y'all call them up today. Again, that's River Region Contracting, 356-8635. That's 356-8635. And be sure to tell Todd Clark and the great team there that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Austin Baranko with Invista Advisors. Hey, Austin, how you doing today?
Having a great Monday, Joey. Had a great July 4th as well. How was your time?
Oh, it was fantastic. I was just telling the audience, told my brother this, that I deal with a lot of cynical political stuff and a lot of old folks fighting over, money and power and stuff. And to see that little girl, my own family, just be who she was, that she makes my heart sing. Very cool. Even the tantrums were somewhat cute.
Well, good. I'm glad y'all had a good time up there. You were in Nashville, right?
Oh yeah. But what a cool city. Not too big, but big enough to where you could have so much fun there. Nothing, no reason not to do something.
And it's clean. For how big it is, it's clean. The downtown area seems really nice. I've been there a couple times. But I'm glad y'all had fun. We did as well. We were actually in D.C. for the 4th, and it was a pretty exciting time to be there. Lots of stuff going on, and fireworks over all the monuments was pretty neat. So we had a good time over the weekend as well.
Oh, I love hearing that. And of course, back to reality, back from vacation, and you check out the news, and we're seeing that they're pushing back the tariff deadline for all these deals. What do you make of this?
Yeah, so you and I have been kind of looking at the deadline that was originally set almost 90 days ago. Tomorrow is that 90-day deadline from Liberation Day, as they were calling it, when these tariffs were announced. And so I was expecting some harder line negotiations to take place and for us to kind of put these back in place. My gut tells me that, Scott Bessent behind the scenes is trying to soften the outcome a little bit, which is probably smart. Trump's more of a bull in a china shop, and Bessent is a little bit more of a smooth talker and I think a calming voice behind the scenes. And so if I had to guess, it was probably his influence on Trump to push back by almost a full month the tariff increases that go back for any countries that didn't engage in negotiations or already complete the negotiations. And letters apparently are going out today to those nations that have not completed or engaged in negotiations, saying, hey, we're giving you till August 1. This is, it's just kind of kicking the can down the road a little bit as far as, I think, market performance is concerned. The S&P is down almost a full % today. Doesn't surprise me. I think coming off a big weekend, a lot of spending, things like that, you kind of have a fall off after a big heavy week of gains. We've been hitting almost all-time highs in some of the major indices. So more of just a kind of cooling off. But now we have till August to see when these things are going to go back into place and which countries are going to complete negotiations. So just more of waiting is really what it is.
And we were talking about the big, beautiful bill. I am very much in the camp of, say, Rand Paul, Thomas Massie, Elon Musk. I think there's a lot of good stuff in the bill, but I think the $5 trillion debt ceiling increase is sort of just an admission of, we made all these promises and plans for the 10-year window, but we're definitely spending about $5 trillion in the next 2 years. And to me, that's just not serious. We were going over how Javier Milei, doing more of the chainsaw wrecking ball strategy, had really awful numbers initially as they were getting a lot of the rot out of the system. think the first quarter of this year was over 5% GDP growth. It just came out something like 7.6% GDP growth. And so when I look at the big, beautiful bill, I'm like, will it create a boom? Maybe not 5-7%, but can they get to 4% growth with this plan that Bessent keeps laying out?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. And actually, a lot of the things you're talking about are tenets in that book that you've put me on to, The Great Deformation. Yeah. Ever since 2008, our solution, rather than being more responsible with our spending, has been just to add to the deficit. And it's sad we're getting, away from, pure capitalism. And I would call this, regulated capitalism. The government's got their hand in controlling the growth of the economy, the growth of the markets to a much larger degree than we did in, say, the 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. The big thing you really touched on, though, is this will significantly increase the deficit. I know your estimates were staying around $5 trillion. I'm looking at like a $3.4 to $3.9 trillion increase in deficit, which is about 10% of the current deficit. So it's like, here we go again, just more spending, more money, rather than taking a hard look at where we're overspending. And depending on which way you look at it, I mean, I do want to be kind of a capitalist and a purist, but I also know that, the more money that flows into the economy through government spending, if you're positioned as a company, even a small company, to get government contracts, or have some of this money flow to you, it can be meaningful for real people and families, but it doesn't address the larger problem, which is we have gotten away from capitalism and we're becoming more dependent on government spending to maintain an economy and a market economy, which I think at some point is going to be a big problem. And I hope it doesn't happen in the near term, but the overspending is a problem.
Yeah, and I guess we'll see. I always comes back to, I think Carville got it right in the 90s. It's the economy, stupid. And by America's 250th birthday bash, something better be humming, especially for Main Street. But that's not necessarily guaranteed. There are a lot of moving parts of this, I suppose.
A lot of moving parts, and I'm sure, I know you and I were texting over the weekend at Powell's response to Trump. They're kind of, making little jabs at each other in the public, but I have started to see some clarity on who Trump plans for a successor, which is interesting because Kevin Warsh is on the agenda potentially to be a successor, and he handled a lot of the 2008 fallout. So it's more of self-dealing if that's the case. I would rather see either Scott Bessent or Chris Walker, who's the St. Louis Board of Director Fed chair, take that position. But the fact that Kevin is in the running lets me know that, he doesn't love Powell, but he potentially is putting a guy in place who's going to continue what he's been doing. So you look back at history and there's always these cycles that repeat themselves. And I think we're seeing some of that here. But either way, a crazy weekend altogether with the tariffs being expanded or pushed to August, the big, beautiful bill passing, plus it being July 4th. I mean, lots going on in the world of economics and politics right now.
Well, I always appreciate your time. And folks, if you're looking for this insight with Austin and the entire team there at Invista Advisors, give them a call. They can help you with a long-term financial plan wherever you are in life. Of course, investment's part of that, and watching, say, these macro trends is part of that. But it is a true interdisciplinary, say, across-the-board approach to making a plan unique to you to get you in the right shape financially going forward. Just call them at 387-0094. And when you call them at 387-0094, be sure to say, hey, I heard Austin Barenko on that radio show, Joey Clark. Want to see what y'all can do for me. I appreciate it as always, Austin.
Yeah, thanks, Joey and Eddie. Y'all have a great day.
You too, brother. Sir. Again, that's Austin Barenko with Invista Advisors.
The opinions voiced in this material are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. All performance referenced is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions expressed in this material do not necessarily reflect the views of LPL Financial. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice is offered through Invista Advisors, registered investment advisor and separate entity from LPL Financial.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Crews trudged through debris and waded into swollen riverbed. In the search for victims of catastrophic flooding over the 4th of July weekend that killed nearly 90 people in Texas, including more than 24 campers and counselors from an all-girls Christian camp. With additional rain on the way, the risk of more flooding still high in saturated parts of central Texas. Listeners who wish to help in the disaster rescue effort can make donations to www.salvationarmytexas.org. Officials in North Carolina say heavy rain and flooding from the remnants of Tropical Storm Chantal have forced dozens of people to flee their homes. The Chapel Hill Fire Department and neighboring agencies completing more than 50 water rescues. On Wall Street, stocks are sharply lower, the Dow dropping 492 points. This is SRN News.
Hi, Mike Gallagher here. As the summer heats up, so do the bills. If you're like a lot of folks, you're not selling your home anytime soon, but that equity you've built, just sitting there. That's why I trust Mike and Brian at Fellowship Home Loans. Love this place. It's in their name, their DNA. They're the team I've used personally, and they treat every client like family. Fellowship Home Loans. They know how to help you tap into your home's value wisely, whether that's a HELOC or a cash-out refi. Fellowship is a direct lender and operates with your best interest in mind. Maybe it's time to finally knock out that renovation, pay off some debt, or just add a little cushion to your retirement account. With rates still reasonable and inflation squeezing all of us, your home might be the smartest financial tool you've got right now. So if you're staying put this summer, make your home work for you. Visit my friends at Fellowship Home Loans, fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, or call 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-6453. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 81938.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, serving the river region with the best quality building materials for decades. Contractor to do-it-yourselfer. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Hi, everybody. No surprise, big heat, lots of humidity, and random storms will dominate our forecast. High today and tomorrow about 96, heat index triple-digit level. Sunshine will be in abundance, but there will be those scattered, random afternoon and evening showers and storms dotting the radar screen. Some towns get a big downpour, other towns get skipped. That scenario continues through Wednesday. By Thursday, the storms will be a little bit more numerous. Lows at night in the muggy mid-70s, and even Wednesday and Thursday highs will still be in the middle 90s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More is your low price leader for everything you need for flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies. For the best prices on luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, flooring installation supplies, and more, shop Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Delray to Publix.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. The State Fire Marshal's Office is asking the public to help provide video of a fireworks explosion that injured 6 people on Lake Martin Friday night. The incident happened near Kalija around 9 p.m., where a pontoon boat that was being used as an unauthorized fireworks platform resulted in an onboard explosion. The state of Alabama has scheduled the execution date for a man convicted of killing a convenience store clerk during a 1997 robbery. 49-year-old Jeffrey Todd West will be put to death on September 25th for the murder of Margaret Parrish Berry. West took $250 from the Etowah County store where he once worked before shooting Berry in the back of the head. New surveillance cameras are being installed throughout Montgomery's downtown entertainment district. The cameras will be monitored 24/7 by MPD's Strategic Technology and Resource Center to enhance public safety. It's not yet clear exactly how many cameras are being added or the total cost of the project. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
This is James Jones with Jones Drugs. We've got locations in Prattville, Millbrook, Greenville, and Montgomery, and soon to be Phoenix City. My dad told me once if I wanted the whole world to know anything, to tell my aunt. Well, I don't have my aunt here, but I've got the next best thing, Blue Water Broadcasting. They have helped us grow the Jones Drug family in this area for over 10 years. Thank you, Blue Water.
Blue Water Broadcasting is the #1 most listened to radio group in the river region.
Find out how to put this reach to work for your business. Call us to find out how we can help. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
There's nothing that will heat up the summer more than a hot deal from Pizza Perfect. The perfect family fill-up in July is a free order of boneless wings with the purchase of any large pizza. Pizza Perfect is known for their all-you-can-eat buffet that includes pizza as well as spaghetti, breadsticks, salad, dessert, and drink for only $13. The buffet is available Monday through Saturday for lunch and for dinner on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Get a free order of boneless wings with the purchase of any large pizza from Pizza Perfect in Eastbrook.
The Tierce family has been your local Roto-Rooter service since 1964. Drain cleaning, plumbing repair, and those troublesome septic tanks, no problem. Technology has changed a bit in the last 54 years. Video inspections of lines to locate problems is available, as well as scheduling your appointment online. River Region residents have trusted Roto-Rooter for over half a century. You can too. Call today at 272-7130 or visit online at rotorooteralabama.com.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name, and away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers.
It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. So the Trump-Musk rift is very real. It does not help Trump that his DOJ said the whole Epstein thing is not real.
That didn't help at all, man. But
that just gives more fuel to not just Elon, but everybody who's living more online.
So what if Trump came out tomorrow or today and said, I disagree with what they say, and I'm sending them back to...
he might do something like that.
Honest to God, he needs to. This is a pie in the face as far as I can tell, or as far as I see it, because this was something I got behind. Right. We wanted more exposure.
Now, Trump put out this huge Truth Social message. Elon's response is too long. Who's this? And what's Truth Social? Because it's I'm sorry, but Trump's full of crap here. Here's a little bit what he says. He says, I am saddened to watch Elon Musk go completely off the rails, essentially becoming a train wreck, in all caps, over the past 5 weeks. He even wants to start a third political party, despite the fact that never succeeded in the United States. The system seems not designed for them. The one thing third parties are good for is the creation of complete and total disruption and chaos. And we have enough of that with the radical left Democrats who have lost their confidence in their minds. Republicans, on the other hand, are a smooth running machine that just passed the biggest bill of its kind in the history of our country. It's a great bill, but unfortunately for Elon, it eliminates the ridiculous EV mandate.
I really don't think he cares about that.
Yes, he said that multiple times during the Biden administration, during Trump, which would have forced everyone to buy an electric car in a short period of time. I've been strongly opposed to that from the very beginning. People are now allowed to buy whatever they want. Gas-powered hybrids, when new technologies as they come about, no more EV mandate. I've campaigned on this for 2 years, and quite honestly, when Elon gave me his total and unquestioned endorsement, I asked him whether or not he knew that I was going to terminate the EV mandate, and it was in every speech I made and every conversation I had. He said he had no problems with that. I was very surprised. Additionally, Elon asked that one of his close friends run NASA. While I thought his friend was very good, I was surprised to learn he was a blue-blooded Democrat who had never contributed to a Republican before. Elon probably was also. I also thought it inappropriate that a very close friend of Elon, who was in the space business, run NASA when NASA is such a big part of Elon's corporate life. My number one charge is to protect the American public. Really?
Yeah.
That's weak.
Yeah, very, very, very.
Very weak.
Yeah.
Anyway. I'm disappointed. No, there's other good things going on. But like on that front, I'm definitely more on Team Elon. Let's go to Thunder. Hey, Thunder, how you doing?
I'm doing well, and I have been listening to all of this with great interest. I believe that we've got two big boys that are playing a pissing contest, and they both want to see who's going to win.
Mm-hmm.
And they both need to recognize the fact that they both have done a tremendous amount of good for this country, more good than most people would ever want to believe. So they need to both recognize what they're doing, accept the fact that they are at an impasse, go to their respective corners, don't talk to each other. If you have to, be like those two little toddlers that you take them when they've been naughty and you say, okay, you go stand in the corner and face the corner. Don't come out until you know better. They need to both go into their respective corners, turn their face into the corner, and not come out until they both can apologize and mean it. They have done too much good for this country for them to destroy what they have done. And doing this and making these efforts will destroy it.
Well said. We'll see if they actually take your advice.
Yeah, I mean, all you have to do is look at the economy, look at the terrorists, look at the situation of other countries that are saying, yeah, we'll take our bad people back. Please don't do that anymore. Look at Alligator Alcatraz and how effective that is going to be. All of this is huge. And they can look at each other and say, you did that. And you did what is good for this country. Now they need to quit being ugly. They need to behave, go to their corner, and not come out until they can apologize and mean it.
Well, I appreciate the call, Thunder. Appreciate you being so patient, too.
Thank you, Thunder.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Y'all have a good one. Good to have you both back.
Thank you.
Yeah, now with this whole thing, I just want to underline the point. Trump is not going to be around forever. And the GOP post-Trump, and you've got J.D. Vance, you got Marco Rubio, you got a lot of smart people waiting in the wings. Josh Hawley clearly wants to run for president. Ted Cruz will again. Rand Paul probably will again.
Yeah, I lost a little something for Ted.
Like, there's going to be right. But there's going to be a lot of folks who are vying to define the GOP.
I kind of worry if that leads to chaos in the party.
Well, and if you have this guy out there who's the richest man in the world, who not only is the richest man in the world, he's not just like Ross Perot with a lot of money. He also owns like the largest social media site.
Very influential.
Yeah. Let's just say he has some pull and some sway.
Yes.
Like, are we really want to be on the wrong side of that guy on this issue? Especially if it's not like a presidential candidate. It's more like your congressional folks. And it does complicate things, like Trump saying it's going to cause chaos and disruption. It's like, that's the point, Donald.
Yeah, that's the point. It's going to expose a few more things.
Just like you cause chaos and disruption, I guess we got to do it to you now. Because Thunder is correct. The border is shut.
Yeah, done.
Pretty impressive.
Yep.
Tom Homan now saying they want to dramatically hike illegal alien arrest quota after the big, beautiful bill. Spends a lot of money, tens of billions of dollars on doing just that, wanting to get to something like 3,000 deported a day.
That's a goal.
Trump administration ends the 25-year migrant protections for 76,000 Honduran and Nicaraguan migrants. Got to be careful with that second one. And did you see that an active shooter was killed trying to ambush Texas Border Patrol agents?
Yep, this morning.
Well, shouldn't be messing around with those Texas Border Patrol agents. They don't play.
They had an active shooter, I think it was in Oregon, that started a wildfire, let some of the first responders get there, and then he shot a couple of them, killed them.
Man, I did see that one.
That's
the worst.
It's nuts.
You get called to a scene and you're open. It's open season on you. Yeah, that's just that's terrible. But you're seeing also, say, from the Bobby Kennedy, Maha has another movement. Major food brands are ditching artificial dyes ahead of the Trump-backed deadline. You're seeing also a lot of folks very upset with some of the executive orders clearly written by Bobby Kennedy and those around him. People act like the whole COVID thing didn't happen.
You're right, Joey.
That you didn't just lie through your teeth.
Yep.
And destroy people's lives that we're still picking up the pieces from.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I still see evidence of it everywhere.
And yet folks act like, oh, none of that didn't happen. And this is an assault on science. I don't know why I said it that way. It just seemed appropriate. This is actually written up at 1819 News by April Marie Fogel. You know that lady.
Yes.
And it's UAB Auburn faculty sign open letter condemning Trump's executive order as an assault on science. And they compare it to Nazi Germany.
Of course they do. That's a new way to compare everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So what did the executive order actually do? It's the gold standard science executive order saying means science conducted in a manner that is reproducible, transparent, communicative of error and uncertainty, collaborative and interdisciplinary, skeptical of its findings and assumptions, structured for falsifiability of hypotheses, subject to unbiased peer review, accepting of negative results as positive outcomes, and without conflicts of interest.
What's the problem with that?
Well, let's see. Should I just read a portion of the opening letter?
Because what's the problem with that?
And who signed this? Who signed this? It was at least two Alabama universities, UAB and Auburn.
Auburn?
Yeah. Faculty members signed a letter affirming our continued pledge to rigorous science as defined by our field, not the White House.
Oh, I see.
The scientists, quote unquote, complained that the Trump administration defunded areas of research they do not agree with, pushed vaccine misinformation despite widespread evidence, lied about the impacts of climate change.
How dare you?
Exactly.
And incorrectly defined sex determination as binary when biology proves it is not.
Somebody's living in the dream world.
Yeah.
Hey, I bet I know the color of their hair.
Let me see. At one point, the open letter says, and it's called Stand Up for Science. They state, history illustrates in no uncertain terms the danger of state-directed scientific truths. The anti-scientific interpretations of genetics by Lysenko in the Soviet Union resulted in famine and killed millions. State-sponsored programs in Nazi Germany based on the science of eugenics led to the genocide of millions of Jews, people with disabilities, and people identifying as LGBTQ+ who were deemed to have life unworthy of life. So, that's... they told you to have these particular standards, and now they're the Soviets and the Nazis?
Yeah, you disagree with me. You're a
Nazi? You're a eugenicist that's going to kill the Jews?
Yep. You disagree with me.
Thousands of individuals signed their names without indicating their employer affiliation. Among those who signed from Alabama are Dr. Karen Gable, University of Alabama, Birmingham, Jane Ness, who's an MD, PhD at UAB, Marla Hertz at UAB, Tori Holland at UAB, Peter Privilege.
For real?
Yeah, it's not privilege, it's Prevelige. Privilege.
Awfully close there, Joey.
University of Alabama, Birmingham, signed without including UAB's name. You're not hiding anything, Mr. Privilege. Marianne Schmitz signed UAB, but notes that she's retired. Dr. Ann Turner Hinson, retired UAB School of Nursing. Dr. Gabriel Pfund, P-F-U-N-D. Is that how it's said? Or is it just fund?
I think it's fund.
I thought it'd be Pfund.
I would rather it be Pfund.
Or is it kind of like faux, but you said fa, or what? However you say it?
Pfund. I believe it's pronounced Pfund.
She's from, Dr. Gabriel's from Auburn. And Nicole Roberts, coordinator, East Alabama Health, was the only other signer who identified themselves as being from Alabama. So, as Maha's racking up the wins, you've got folks clearly pushing back, saying we must protect the science.
Every family's got their special people, Joey.
What are they so worried about? Like, that's a very straightforward, like, it seems like a very common sense, broad-based.
Has to be provable?
Yeah.
I don't understand what the problem with that is.
Because the peer-reviewed process is...
Yeah. You believe my crap, I believe yours.
It's very shot. Anyway, let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, guys. Love your show.
Hey, Robert.
I'm going to talk about the flood in Texas.
Sure.
Okay? And it's just common sense. We probably all thought of it before. It's just so... Anyway, you can see where the flood came up. You don't build in that. You don't build there.
Yeah.
If you're going to get close to it, you build it on stilts, right? Little kids don't mind going up and down stairs. Anyway, it breaks my heart, all the tragedy. But, I mean, common sense can handle a lot of it. In other words, if you got every 10 years something like this might happen, back up.
Yeah, and this is at Camp Mystic in Hunt, Texas, on the Guadalupe River. It apparently swelled up to its second highest level on record.
Mm-hmm.
When this happened.
That's right, Joey.
Yeah.
Hey, love your show. You and Eddie, y'all got it hammered. Thank you for letting me throw in my 2 cents. We all hate kids dying.
Yeah.
Black, white, red, or the other. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Gotcha, Robert.
Thanks, Robert.
See you, man.
Yeah, and of course, a lot of, I was seeing it from Coach Tuberville, Katie Brett. 8-year-old Sarah Marsh was one of the young campers caught in the flash flooding in Texas, died on Friday. She's the daughter of Patrick and Jill Marsh of Mountain Brook. Patrick is an assistant professor at Birmingham Samford University. Sarah was a student at Cherokee Bend Elementary School. She was one of 23 girls reported missing from Camp Mystic. It's a Christian summer camp located there at the Guadalupe River in Texas Hill County. The river experienced unexpected and rapid flooding after receiving up to a month's worth of rain in a short period on Thursday.
That's a lot.
This is just northwest of San Antonio. Sarah Marsh's grandmother, Debbie Marsh Ford, posted on Facebook, "Thank you for the outpouring of love and sympathy. We will always feel blessed to have had this beautiful, spunky ray of light in our lives. She will live on in our hearts forever. We love you so much, sweet Sarah." And she would have entered 3rd grade. No, maybe after this weekend. I don't think I can read something like this. That's awful. Just absolutely tragic. I mean, everything deployed to try to figure this out as swiftly as possible. As of late Friday, 237 people have been evacuated or rescued, according to Major General Thomas M. Sulzer with the Texas Military Department. More than 2/3 of those rescues were conducted by helicopter. At least 14 helicopters, 12 drones, and over 500 people from various units were rescuing adults and children, some up in trees in Kerr County. Texas Governor Abbott says search and rescue teams will comb flooded areas nonstop through Saturday. President Trump said late Friday his administration is working with the governor there in Texas to respond, saying we'll take care of them. He told reporters on Air Force One the flood was terrible and shocking. Indeed it is. That's just, especially seeing the picture of that smiling little girl. You never know. You never know. How about this? Let's reset.
All right.
I had known about that, but seeing the picture and reading it there hit me harder than I thought it would. We'll be right back, folks. Y'all stay tuned.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This is David Ernest from the Health and Wealth Show. We like to cut up and have fun, maybe poke a little fun at some politicians. but we don't take ourselves too seriously. One thing we do take seriously is your personal finances and your plans for retirement. You can tell by listening, we're a little different. Yeah, we like to have a good time on the radio, but we're dead serious about your financial future and helping you achieve your goals. At Ernest Financial, we're committed to giving you the attention you need. We don't treat you like a number. You're way more important to us. At Ernest Financial, it's about helping you today and preparing you for tomorrow. People call us who are on the verge of retirement, and they know they need a plan for the future. No matter where you are in life, Ernest Financial will help guide your every step towards retirement. Give us a call and let us show you what our individual customer attention can do for your future.
Concerned about your retirement? Call David Ernest toll free at 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-SAFE.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Mr. Electric.
I've been doing electrical work for 8 years, 7 years, 6 years, 23 years. I love troubleshooting. It's one of my passions.
Electrical is all I do, unless my wife asks me to do something at home. Together, there's nothing that we can't figure out or accomplish.
We've seen it all here at Mr. Electric. Going in with the confidence to know it doesn't matter what I'm going to run into. I'm going to figure it out and confidently telling that customer, we got you taken care of.
Mr. Electric, the power to make things better.
Hi, I'm Jane Ray, account executive with Blue Water Broadcasting. Why should you advertise with us? Radio is an active medium. It can create immediacy, driving shoppers to a specific store, brand, or to take a specific action. Radio ads engage with the audience in a personal and unique way. Contact me, Jane Ray, by going to bluewaterbroadcasting.com to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
Weather, a service of H&H Carpets, where right now, get a load of this, listen close, you get a house full of carpet for $19.95 installed. Unbelievable. They're located at 6450 Atlanta Highway, just across from Walmart.
Rich Thomas weather.
Hi, everybody. No surprise, big heat, lots of humidity, and random storms will dominate our forecast. High today and tomorrow about 96, heat index triple-digit level. Sunshine will be in abundance, but there will be those scattered, random afternoon and evening showers and storms dotting the radar screen. Some towns get a big downpour, other towns get skipped. That scenario continues through Wednesday. By Thursday, the storms will be a little bit more numerous. Lows at night in the muggy mid-70s, and even Wednesday and Thursday highs will still be in the middle 90s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Hey, this is Jody Pangle with Peaches and Clean. Have you gone with luxury vinyl tile and luxury vinyl planking in your home? Peaches and Clean cleans luxury vinyl tile and planking. Give us a call. We'd love to come look at it and get you an estimate or quote for your cleaning. Check us out at peachesandclean.com.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. This part of the program brought to you by, Smokehouse Pit Barbecue. Mm-hmm. By the way, I went to breakfast.
Yeah.
And every time I go to a breakfast spot that isn't in town,
you have to compare, right?
I try the cheese grits at this other spot. Didn't even get close. Their biscuits were all right. But they're like, oh, these cheese grits are great. Yeah, they were known for our cheese grits. And I tried it, and I'm like, what is this? Yeah. This thin slop, this gruel you've placed before me. Yeah. This is nothing compared to Smokehouse Pit Barbecue.
Yep.
Then Sweet Home Alabama started playing in the background. But seriously, I love that Chris, he corrected us. They're not cheese grits. They're grit cheese.
It's the truth.
Yeah, and we don't know the exact proportions. That's a secret. But dadgum, if you want to get by, have a true Southern down-home breakfast. They do that Tuesday through Sunday, open at 6:30. If you get there a little earlier, they will they'll help you out. It might be a little slower than when they're officially open, but they'll still help you out as they're getting the kitchen up and running. And, of course, they have an amazing lunch, meat and three. Daily meat and three, same fixings that you always love.
Plus some mac and cheese,
or maybe get some catfish or some fried chicken.
Catfish and mustard would be great.
Yeah, and there's some fried okra, maybe some cobbler too. You want a little dessert with your lunch,
of course.
And of course, they also have an amazing dinner menu. Can't go wrong with their barbecue selection, from the ribs to the brisket to the pulled pork sandwiches. I like their spicy barbecue sauce you throw on there. And they're now doing entertainment not only on Friday nights, but Saturday nights as well.
Cool.
So check out Smokehouse Pit Barbecue on Facebook to see who's playing, who's having a lot of fun there. You can always go to smokehousebbq.com to really build up some hunger and thirst there looking at that menu. But stop by. Be sure to tell Celeste and Chris that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you. Erica Thomas just wrote this up at 1819 News. It's the top trending story there.
Yeah.
Excessive denials from health insurance providers leave Alabama patients and providers hanging in the balance.
I'm glad all this is finally coming to light.
Yeah.
Somebody that's been through that and had family members been through that. You have too. I'm glad it's finally coming to light.
Yeah. For many patients, a denial by their health insurance provider is more than a financial burden. It's a matter of life and death. Yeah, you think?
Yep.
A new study by the KFF, an independent source for health policy research, polling, and news, found that 58% of insured adults have experienced a problem using their health insurance, including being denied claims. The study also found that Alabama had the highest initial denial rate for in-network claims by healthcare.gov insurers in 2023. That average in-network denial rate was 34%.
Wow.
Highest in the nation.
Third. Wow.
According to the study, the state's largest insurer, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alabama, had the highest initial denial rate in the country, with a 35% denial rate of in-network claims. That's a little over, I'm looking at this, 4.5 million initial denied claims. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alabama Director of Corporate Communications and Community Relations, Sophie Martin, told 1819 News the numbers were misleading because they included claims that were eventually corrected and processed.
Hey, Joey, numbers don't lie.
Martin said the total claim denial rate is much lower, around 6%.
I know too many people that have been in that denial pool to say that's 6%.
The KFF study showed United Health Group had a 33% rate of initial denials across 20 states. The study listed reasons for denials, which included lack of prior authorization or referral, exclusion of a service, denials based on medical necessity, experimental or cosmetic procedures, administrative reasons, the enrollee's benefit reached, and unspecified reasons.
Unspecified. How is there an unspecified reason, period? Period. That's just them telling you, no, we ain't going to do it.
The state's largest health system, UAB, has since announced its plans to drop United Healthcare from its network.
Interesting.
UAB Health System CEO Don Bulgarella. Oh, how's it shaking, Don?
Yeah.
It's Dawn like the morning.
Yeah.
It's a lady.
Figures much.
Anyway, she said that the insurance giant's inability to reach a reasonable compromise has made it impossible for the system to deliver the highest quality care to patients. United Healthcare reported $14.4 billion in earnings last year, with $6 billion in profit. It's a heck of a margin. That's close to, you're in what, the 40% range?
Yeah, at least.
That's a heck of a profit margin for what?
And then you look at the expenses, Joey. You know they expense a lot of things that would be questionable.
UAB said that profit came at the expense of policyholders and healthcare providers. The system cited below market reimbursement rates, excessive claim denials, and delayed payments as reasons it is not confident in the insurer. United's approach to contract negotiations has already led to breakdowns with numerous providers, and more may follow, the CEO of UAB Health System said. United Healthcare told 1819 News the allegations from UAB are false. United Healthcare's Alabama CEO, Brian Palmer, stated that the claims by UAB are an attempt to divert attention from the health system's higher cost. Here's a quote from Mr. Palmer. He says, UAB is nearly 40% higher today than the average cost of other peer academic health systems throughout the Southeast. Despite this, UAB is demanding an approximate 20% price hike for our commercial plans. UAB is also seeking a significant rate increase for our Medicare Advantage plans that would make them among the highest costs in our Medicare Advantage network nationally. Our goal is to reach an agreement that is affordable for consumers and employers. However, we need UAB to come to the negotiating table with a proposal consumers and employers can afford. United Healthcare claims the cost of outpatient surgeries and colonoscopies at UAB Hospital are more than double the cost at the other 25 academic health systems in the Southeast. Damn.
Well, let's ask this. Are they allowed to advertise, or doctors? I don't know. I'm asking, period. Are they allowed to advertise costs? Because I wouldn't give a crap if my insurance was paying for it or not. I'm generally going for the best deal for me. I don't think they're allowed to do that, Joey, or else you would know.
A spokesperson for United Healthcare told 1819 News that UAB's recent acquisition of St. Vincent's is another way the health system is driving up costs. The spokesperson said that agreeing to UAB's current proposal would result in increased premiums and out-of-pocket costs for consumers. The insurer proposed to extend its contract with UAB through September 30th to allow time for additional discussion, but UAB refused. United Healthcare's contract with UAB is expected to expire on July 31st. United Healthcare and Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alabama are among over 50 health plans that signed on to simplify and reduce prior authorization requirements. Kate Berry, the Senior VP of Strategic Partnerships and Clinical Affairs at AHIP, told 1819 News that prior authorization is an important part of patient care, and streamlining that process could reduce denial rates. There certainly is a recognition the process needs to work better for patients and providers. It needs to be as transparent and simple as possible, to your point, Eddie, to try to get the providers and their patients' responses to prior authorization requests as quickly as possible, even in the real time, if the process is fully electronic. Martin said Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alabama has already implemented several policies to improve prior authorizations, including affirming that prior authorizations will be reviewed by a licensed qualified clinician, improving communications to members about prior authorizations, and reducing the use of prior authorizations for certain medical services. Just reading this.
Is it prior authorizations, Joey? Is that part of the issue?
God, man. The bureaucracy of this system is nuts. And I mean government, I mean private, I mean, what a mess.
Now, granted, in Jamaica, I'm sure their hospital over there is awful. But we actually went to a shopping center that had a doctor's office in it. And it was just a general sign that said doctor's office. They're closed on Wednesdays. Other than that, and I asked Marvin, he's like, do you have insurance? You don't have anything like that. You pay cash. So how much is like if you go to the doctor? $20, $25.
Yeah.
With meds.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he was the first one that said, too, I don't really like this guy. His prices are good, but the bedside manner is not too good. I go over here and I pay a little bit more because I like this guy's bedside manner. Oh, so you have options that you actually know about. With us, we generally go to the doctor, then find out the guy's a turd, and we can't do nothing about it. We're stuck with him.
Right. Well, and having my brother and his wife both working in the medical system, I hear all about it.
Oh, I bet both sides.
There's great things that are done, but a lot of this is now kind of what my brother's doing is, in particular, selling a particular thing for diabetes folks. But most of what he's doing, he likes it because it's not just selling to doctors. It's like literally this person wants this device. I'll do like all the work to the insurance, all the stuff we're talking about here. The patient doesn't have to. We'll just get it to them.
If I'm the patient, that makes me a lot more likely to buy that product.
But it's fascinating how like the layers upon layers upon layers of this system
bureaucracy.
Are
it's crap, man.
By the way, Barry, the lady talking here, I think from AHIB, said that while the shooting death of United Healthcare CEO brought more attention to high rates of denial of claims, there's a real problem with denials of claims, and that is nothing new. Obviously, that was a tragic situation that happened last December, and I think that brought maybe further attention to prior authorization. However, I mean, this is quite honestly not a new issue. Has created some friction between plans and providers and patients for quite some time. Yeah, you think?
but again, it's so far at arm's length. There's nothing you or I can do about it. In the insurance game, we're just the guy that pays the bill. What voice do we really have? Here's your choices.
Right. It's just, you look at stuff like this and you're like, that's like, there are amazing things that are done at UAB.
Sure.
But in terms of like basic experience, not for like the extreme stuff. That's what they do excel at, is the hardcore cases, the tough cases. Yeah, and I believe it is still, if not one of it, the best surgical center in the country. Like a lot of top people go there. And so we got really great things, but that's not what healthcare is for most people.
Right. Right.
It just isn't. And thank God it isn't. Why is it that you have to nickel and dime folks that are generally healthy who just want a simple, streamlined experience that ain't too expensive to get like some, basic drugs if they want, or a basic procedure done, that they have to be nickel and dime in order to pay for all the nice, fancy, expensive stuff? It just seems like we're all over the map. And when you see a profit margin, that United Healthcare, they made $6 billion in profit off $14 billion in earnings.
Pretty good return.
That's crazy.
But you could tell that's where their focus is. That's where the focus is. It's not on helping the patient. It's not on having a better product. It's having more profit at the end of the day.
Right. I mean, go to a restaurant, be like, y'all got a 40% profit margin. And come work in radio. Like, no, that's not in the card.
But they got you. What are you going to do? Insurance is something we have to have. If you're going to work for an employer, if you want a great employer, the chances are that you're going to want insurance. I mean, you're kind of caught, but they're playing this middle field just a little bit too much to me.
And it's been a while since I've done a deep dive into the healthcare system, but last time I looked at this stuff, it really is the legacy of building a system based on special interest.
Yep.
Like hospitals they have their point of view, doctors have their point of view, and it seems like the patients have kind of been left out of the conversation.
You're right. And I would love to have, and maybe we could talk to Tankersley. I would love to have the other side's opinion, because they've got to be just as frustrated as the patients.
Well, no, but I think one thing that baffles me is why, you do life insurance, you do like long-term life insurance. Like why are you looking at healthcare for people on an annual cost basis? Especially when you can kind of map somebody's full life costs.
Well, that goes back also to the savings health plan. I would love to be able to have money for that. But
why is it like after, I paid all this money this year, now it's gone?
Yeah.
Like, why can't you build up essentially equity in a health plan? Like, that's not.
Yeah, and I agree. It's not.
That seems a little baffling.
Mainly because your health gets worse, supposedly, as you get older, right? So, but again, if there were something on the front side to combat it.
Well, and there are some like interesting solutions where it's already happening, but I think it might get better with this new regime Trump has in place in public health. More concierge service, and that's a fancy word. Folks like, I can't afford that. But imagine you pay your doctor just a monthly fee that's reasonable. Like it's less than your cable bill, less than your internet bill. And you have access to him. His quality of life's better because he only needs so many patients to make that model work. That's what he does.
He's got that circle of patients. That's right.
And the cost of drugs through that model is much less. You just get it directly from him.
Yep.
And so there's a lot of ways of helping people and making sure folks are healthy. Now, there is that one word that people run away with, especially Americans. You know what? You really want to be healthy, Eddie?
Why's that?
You need discipline. No, I want to do whatever I want, and then you give me a pill that makes it go away. All right. Yeah.
But also, if it were easier, if it were, again, going to the doctor for a guy, it's $25, $30 whatever your copay is. Most guys still don't go.
Right.
We just don't go. But it's so expensive. You would think we go every other day.
Right. I mean, I go usually once a year. I go see Tankersley.
Yeah.
Get some blood work done.
Well, I do a physical, been doing that. But like getting sick and things like that, maybe once or twice a year.
Yeah.
That's about it. But
no, I can't remember the last time I went to the doctor because I was sick.
Yeah. COVID, probably something like that.
That's
the last time I can remember. Being
COVID. You just turn down turn the AC down, like real low, and you shiver through the night. You get up and you come back to work at the radio.
Yeah, that's pretty much how we did it.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't bother me none. Oh, no, the last thing I did was a doctor. In fact, he was a great listener of ours. I went blind in that eye. And he kind of took care of that for me. Now that I think about it, yeah.
You're like Tennessee Williams. I'm blind in this eye.
Dude, I've been blind in one of my eyes 2 different times in my life, and it is a weird experience.
And I appreciate this reporting by Erica Thomas because
me too.
That's I didn't know those numbers, and that initial 30%. Idea that Alabama is, in particular, said Alabama had the highest initial denial rate for in-network claims for all insurers on healthcare.gov.
Why do you think that is?
I haven't thought it through. Why do you?
I mean, just curious. You got one major provider, Blue Cross Blue Shield, that
and then
don't
United,
have much right? You don't have a whole lot of competition, so. And let's be honest, Alabamians are uneducated.
Ooh.
They don't look into things. A lot of times they'll take no as an answer. Well, that guy would know better than me. And they said no. Yeah. See it all the time.
And I'm looking at the map. We are leaps and bounds above a lot of other states in terms of that initial denial of claims.
And I don't think our consumer laws in Alabama, in fact, I know they're not the greatest by far.
Can't have nothing.
You can, but you're going to have to pay for it.
This part of the program brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. Talk about a business that actually works.
Yes. You talk about a solid people over there too, Joey.
And they are fantastic. If you're looking for help buying a home, refinancing that home, maybe you're not like that serious about buying, but your wife is hearing you constantly talk about it.
Yep.
And she's like, well, why don't you just make a move on it? You never make a move on anything. You just talk and talk and talk and all talk, no action. Well, if you want to show that woman, at least make a call.
One phone call.
Get pre-approved. At least understand, here's how much home we could go for. Here are options, and you can seriously look at the market there, and you can be a man of action.
That'd be good.
You'll be very impressed. And, of course, if you're really serious, Alabama Home Mortgage would walk with you through the whole process from pre-approval all the way to closing day. And if you are looking to refinance, it could be to upgrade, say, the property, reinvest in your property, your family. Maybe you want to lower monthly overhead costs. Say you are retired or getting close to it, and you want to bring down that monthly overhead. So say that retirement dollar goes a lot farther. They can help you there. And, of course, could be you got a debt issue.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, interest rates are a lot higher than they have been in the last several years, but they're on a home a lot less than, say, APR on a credit card.
Oh, definitely.
A lot less. Magnitudes less. So y'all check out Alabama Home Mortgage today. That number 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies like Kim and Madeline. Prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Independent Glass has been your one-stop shop for all things glass since 1978. They offer a full range of architectural products, and they're armed with the knowledge and expertise to get even the most demanding job done, big or small. Attention to detail, 24-hour replacement services, and their uncompromising commitment to excellence is why Montgomery's first choice for all things glass is Independent Glass. Call them today at 263-2823 and learn more about what they can do for you at independentglassco.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Honestly, feels good to be back in the saddle here. And we were trying to get in touch with a particular person that we often talk to at this time of the day. I thought I was going to reunite Eddie and him, but we'll hopefully get Michael Cohen here on.
Yeah, I'll try him here in about 5 minutes.
In a second. But hey, this part of the program?
Yeah.
Brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health.
Dude, I'm telling you this. I've seen so many fellas in the airport.
Mm-hmm.
We were just sitting around.
Sure.
Men of my age and a little bit younger
Mm-hmm.
that I really thought, man, I wish I had a business card I could give you.
Yeah.
You can just, honestly, Joey, you can just tell.
They're exhausted.
They're exhausted. It's 10:30 in the morning, and it might as well be 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They're about to pass out.
Yep.
They have no patience. They're overweight. You can
no
tell
muscle.
they have no drive whatsoever.
Right.
And I mean, I didn't want to feel like the guy, but I'm like, hey, I think I know what your problem is, buddy.
Right. And, you know, this is a common frustration. A lot of men do feel tired and sluggish, not themselves. And they assume, to your point, it's just, I'm just getting older.
Just getting older.
That's just life. But it doesn't have to be that way. Low energy and performance issues aren't inevitable. And you know what I'm talking about when it comes to performance, say, in the bedroom. But at Montgomery Men's Health, there's no guesswork, no gimmicks, just real science and effective treatments. Don't go to the generic online pills. They're overpriced and ineffective. Go see the urologist there at Montgomery Men's Health, and the providers there will tailor solutions specifically to your body and goals. And it's not just testosterone. They also have ED treatments, other options men don't even know exist. It's accessible. It's affordable.
Mm-hmm.
They'll do a consultation, including blood work. It's just $99. And they'll have results before you leave.
Right.
So act now. You only got one life. Procrastination can make this worse. Call them up today, brother. 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment today. In fact, they have treatments there. They'll make you feel better the very same day.
That's right.
You know, I might be stopping by for some blood work there.
Not a bad idea,
Right
Joey.
after the show.
You're getting a little older. Got to keep that stuff in check, baby.
Yeah, I also engaged in some bad habits that sped up that process. Yeah, one of these days I'll be able to tell that story. I don't think I'll tell it
I wouldn't tell it
anytime.
just yet. Save it for your novel.
Yeah, my novel. Yeah.
Life and Times of Joey Clark.
All right, everybody wants to read my stuff, right? Goodness gracious. And by the way, having all those couples there, and it was mostly like female pediatrician doctors who are fellows at Vanderbilt.
So,
and they all have a certain
look.
look, and they're all very well put together. And
they all
like,
have the wedding ring on.
yes. And so, well, no, one didn't, but I was like, whatever.
Only one.
Yeah, and I looked
my
at her.
choices.
I looked at her and was like, ew. I don't like it. Ew, get away from me with your boobies. Ew. Yeah.
Oh, them kind.
Yeah, it was like, oh, like your sundress and soap.
Still tell you need to go to Jamaica. The women to men ratio is 8-1.
Oh, I'd probably have fun in Jamaica now.
Yeah.
But I noticed like they do have all the husbands there.
Oh, they brought the husbands.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and like it was couples,
Okay.
Except for me and one other lady who was a fellow who seemed lovely. I'm sorry about the boobies thing. That was immature and inappropriate.
Sure.
But it's interesting. You ask these folks, like, what do you do? And one guy's like, oh, we were early in the AI business, selling to companies, like solutions for companies.
Cool.
And I'm like, that's pretty cool. But everybody has a real job.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like a man child. Like, what do you do? I talk radio and I write a weekly column. Like, what do you talk about? Politics and stuff. Well, and then I told him, actually, it just usually devolves into me and my co-host, Eddie, giving each other crap.
I tell people all the time.
Yeah. And we talk about the latest in AI. I had a good session with that guy. Talk about Bitcoin. We talk about crypto and tech and all sorts of things. We talk about the boosies.
Did you get any, like, I won't say tips, but any good, stronger feelings about Bitcoin from that crowd?
From that crowd?
Being a younger crowd with some money, they feel more open to investing in Bitcoin, that kind of thing. Really?
It depends on the person.
Really?
I get a sense that a lot of these folks are very buttoned up.
Yeah. They
think it's speculative. They're like, I got my 401k. It's matching with my business. Like
that's what I'm kind of wondering. I wonder where that population split is.
Right. I was trying to sell my brother and his wife on like at least just put away $200 a month. Like, just put a little bit away, not a lot, like, into this. Like, guys. But I don't know if they're biting on it.
No, same thing. There's conversations I've had with people over the last week or so about Bitcoin, and they're like, "Dude, won't you give me that money?"
It's one of the best things Trump's doing. Apparently, they're going to have a huge announcement July 22nd.
Excellent.
Which in part might include a strategy to purchase more Bitcoin for the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve they've already set up.
I'm open to it. So much open to that. However, Joey, still disappointed in the whole Epstein thing and the DOJ.
Oh yeah, we haven't really gotten to the details of that. Yeah, official DOJ report: Jeffrey Epstein was not murdered, and there was no blackmail operation or client list.
But we still have one person in jail. Why is she in jail?
Yeah, there are no clients? Really? Why are you in jail for trafficking? Who did you traffic them to?
And then what really got me at the end, we go back to For the Children. We don't want to talk about this anymore. We don't want to go into it anymore for the protection of the children.
And Elon put this out saying, "What's the time? Oh, look, it's no one has been arrested o'clock again." And it says the official Jeffrey Epstein pedophile arrest counter, and it says 0, 0, 0, 0.
Yep.
Yep.
I would rather them JFK me by just lying to me the whole time than just this.
No, and I think you hit the nail on the head earlier. This whole rift between Musk and Trump, I think it is generational.
Oh,
you are caught in the middle.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of folks, the people online, the younger folks online, they do not like some of the stuff, especially this.
Agreed.
Like, what the hell are y'all doing?
We were sold a bill of goods again.
Like, you pass another big omnibus spending bill and act like it's the best thing ever. And it's like, no, this is just what Washington does. And you got a few wins in there.
You do have a few, but
the overselling of this stuff is...
That's when you know it's crap.
It better taste good come next year. Or else...
I hope so, Joey.
The saltiness is going to get a little too much for all of us. Anyway, we'll be right back. Hopefully we'll get Michael Cohen on the phone after the break.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. With additional rain on the way, the risk of more flooding still high in saturated parts of central Texas. Authorities say the death toll was sure to rise as crews look for the many people who are still missing. So far, 89 people are reported dead. Listeners who wish to help in the disaster rescue effort can make donations to www.salvationarmytexas.org. Authorities in Northern California have found all the bodies of 7 people missing since an explosion last week at a fireworks warehouse. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and President Trump set to meet for a third time this year. That meeting could give new urgency to a U.S. ceasefire proposal being discussed by Israel and Hamas. On Wall Street, all 3 major indexes down more than 1%. This is SRN News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind: to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-226-5454. That's 800-226-5454. 800-226-5454.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by McPhillip Schimbaum.
My name is Aaron Luck, a partner with the law firm of McPhillip Schimbaum. If you or someone in your family has been seriously injured by the negligence of someone else, call me directly.
262-1911. Rich Thomas Weather.
Hi, everybody. No surprise, big heat, lots of humidity, and random storms will dominate our forecast. High today and tomorrow about 96. Heat index triple-digit level. Sunshine will be in abundance, but there will be those scattered, random afternoon and evening showers and storms dotting the radar screen. Some towns get a big downpour, other towns get skipped. That scenario continues through Wednesday. By Thursday, the storms will be a little bit more numerous. Lows at night in the muggy mid-70s, and even Wednesday and Thursday highs will still be in the middle 90s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More is your low price leader for everything you need for flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies. For the best prices on luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, flooring installation supplies, and more, shop Budget Floors and More. Hunter Lane across from Del Rey to Publix.
1819 News.
The chairman of the Alabama Republican Party, John Wall, believes that a recent decision from the U.S. Supreme Court is a good sign regarding Alabama's redistricting case. Wall was referring to the fact that the U.S. Supreme Court decided to delay consideration of a similar redistricting case out of Louisiana. Wall talked about it on FM Talk 106.5 out of Mobile.
So the chance is punting Louisiana will put it more in the same time frame as Alabama, in which case we could see these cases, if not merged into one case, heard at the same time or very closely. And we could see a dual ruling. And having Louisiana and Alabama separate actually could be the court's way of saying, look, we're going to look at this as a holistic issue. This is not about Alabama. It's not about our former refusal to stay from them. This is about the entire question of, is it appropriate for anyone, whether it's a lower court or state legislature, to look at districts based on the color of people's skin?
I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Some of the greatest blessings is just having the people that care about you. To have someone that's just going to love you and make you feel important. They encourage you to be in church. They encourage you to be in prayer. They encourage you to be in your Bible. Now it's a part of my day every day. My house parents planted seeds in me that you can see where those seeds have sprouted in my life and helped change my life.
Big Oak Ranch, a Christian home for children needing a chance.
A Guatemalan man has been arrested in Limestone County and charged with rape of a child under the age of 10. The residence of Juan Castro Hernandez was searched after he was reported as using a firearm to threaten people. That resulted in further charges against him. The U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency has been notified of the man's immigration status. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Welcome back, folks. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Michael Cohen from Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are y'all?
Good.
Wonderful.
It's good to see this guy.
This
See,
is
you
great.
got your little helper back.
Yeah. Yeah, I sure do.
World
Oh, wait.
traveler.
I want him to stay. Don't say stuff like that.
Michael,
Well,
what did
only
you do for the
can
4th?
make him feel like he's still on the island.
Man, Michael, let me tell you, I feel like I need to go to rehab after being spoiled so bad. But you wake up in the morning with this big breakfast. You have a cleaner, a house cleaner. You have a chef, and you got a yard guy. And the yard guy at Garfield, he's great. We just hung out the whole time. Took out some wasp nests with the spray. I don't know if you saw that. It was a great time.
Yeah.
So, Michael, I need you to buy some more advertising so I can go back.
Well, I just want to know why the head man is still working while his helper gets to go play for a week.
Well, that's a really good question. Luckily, his helper has got a wife that makes good money and loves him, and will to take him on these silly vacations.
Oh, okay. Well, that's very sweet.
Well, what did you do for the 4th, Michael?
I grilled out, and my
I hope
kid
so.
and his girlfriend came over, and we had some good times. And before that, he came over and helped me cut some grass. And anyway, it wasn't like Eddie down there where they could smoke grass, but we were just cutting it.
We grilled out, but I was watching 2 toddlers compete for a slide in the outdoor pool, and eventually they got it down where don't push each other.
Right.
Like, it's her turn. Oh, it's her turn. Okay. It was this very sweet, wholesome thing. I'm like, this is not a bad 4th of July.
Well, that's good.
And I'd imagine things are going well there at Cohen's Electronics and Appliances right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Last week we had Michael Jack sent me a picture of an install. We had sold the guy a TV originally, and he strayed and went somewhere else to replace the TV. And then he came back to us to get the second one replaced. And Michael takes down his TV and he sends me a picture of the install. And the bracket wasn't big enough for the television. So he had wire tied with a little piece of Elon to make the bracket longer so he could put the two screws in the top of the TV bracket. And it's like the bracket was made for a 55 inch and he was getting a 65. And Michael's like, I can't do this.
Not in good conscience. Can I do this?
I'm happy to sell you another bracket, but you don't want me to do this. And anyway, the guy bought the bracket, and
good choice.
We moved on, but we're saving the picture. It's good to see what our competitors do.
Yes.
Well, folks, if you're looking for amazing products and also second to none service, you just get by Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Maybe you were the dope on the 4th of July. They didn't have some good grilling out option. Didn't have a Traeger. Didn't have a Napoleon. Didn't have anything. Not even a big old egg. And they got that there at Cohen's, along with, again, the great electronics and appliance side. So y'all get by there, 2515 Eastern Boulevard. Here in Montgomery, open 9 to 6, Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. And find Michael, be like, hey, I heard you on that radio show with Joey and that Eddie fella.
That's right. That's right. And that'll be an easy one to pick lately.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, y'all come see us. Bring us some pictures of the area you're trying to upgrade. Ask us some questions. Let us ask you some questions. Let us help you make the right choice. And come see us. And remember that model for model, we'll have the same price as the box stores have.
Awesome.
But we'll have way better service.
That's it, buddy.
Well, appreciate it as always, Michael. Talk again soon.
Right. Welcome back, Eddie.
Thank you, Michael.
Again, that's Michael Cohen with Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. We'll be right back.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
At Guardian Credit Union, it's not just about the dollars and cents. It's about relationships. If you want it, so do we. Need more adventure? So do we! Look forward to escaping the ordinary?
So do we.
Want to sharpen your skills in the kitchen?
So do we.
Want your kid to stick with music lessons?
So do we.
I think they got it, guys.
So do we.
Federally insured by NCUA. Equal Housing Opportunity. NMLS 912757.
Here at Adams Drugs, we let our customers do the talking. I'm here with Ronnie Taunton, who was a longtime customer of Adams Drugs, moved away for 3 years, and came back to town recently. Ronnie, what did you do for another pharmacy when you moved out of town?
When we moved to Fairhope, we were looking for a local. We did not want to go to a big box store. And we did find one, but the service was not up to par. Adams Drug really spoiled us.
What was it like to come back to Adams Drugs again?
It was very easy. We picked up the phone when we got back, came up to Prattville and called the branch there in Prattville, and they took that phone call and did the rest of it. We didn't have to do a thing. It was very simple. We're glad to be back with them. They're so efficient and customer service oriented.
Come in to any of our 12 Adams Drugs locations. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net to find the location nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your independently owned HealthMart pharmacy. HealthMart, taking the time to listen and care.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. By the way, those of y'all that drink all the time, I don't know how y'all do it. I don't know how I used to do it.
Huh?
Yeah, it just...
Open your mouth, pour it in.
Well, yeah, that's the easy part. That's the fun part. How do you man, it just destroys my sleep and my body. My heart rate goes up. My blood pressure goes up just doing it for a day or two.
Oh, yeah. If I go out for a little night of the binge,
Sure. Yeah.
It takes me a week to get over it.
I don't know how some folks do that on a consistent basis.
Young. And for some people, and I know you get in that factory life, it's just, I hate it, but it becomes the norm.
Oh, sure. It's the thing I do.
Yeah.
Right. It's fun on a trip. It really was a lot of fun, especially, Uber was able to get into a Tesla Model Y.
Oh, yeah. How'd you like it?
Very cool car.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, okay, I could get used to this thing. And asked her if she's like, yeah, it drives me she didn't pay for the whole full self-driving thing, but they gave her a free month.
Oh, really?
And that whole month she would just Uber around downtown Nashville, and then she would have the car take her home 20-30 minutes away. And she said, yeah, it was awesome.
That's
very
cool.
Easy. I was tired, and it's you still have to watch it. It'll
Yeah.
get mad at you if you don't pay attention, but yeah, very, very cool stuff. Yeah. A lot of action there.
Did not see one single Tesla in Jamaica.
No, didn't see a
Saw a
Tesla.
beautiful Corvette. You see some amazingly older cars pop up once in a while, but didn't see that. A lot of Chinese motorcycles.
And I was telling you off air, there were a lot of women there. I was like, oh, this is where the women are.
What do you mean, Joey? You looked around here, there's no women here, so you found them up there.
Compared to downtown Montgomery.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I don't know if you saw over the weekend, Jason Davenport wrote up on why is
I
the
saw that.
music scene.
I
so-
reposted that. It was a good story.
It was well done by him. And it is a little disappointing. I know the Exchange, I've met people, I've sat at that Exchange bar, and there's always a great artist playing. I used to go downtown a lot, and I know they just did a show at the amphitheater and stuff. But yeah, compared to other places with such a great music heritage, it seems like we're dropping the ball with our downtown space in particular.
But we don't have, we used to have, and I know I'm older, so I don't know all the bars out there, but we used to have Head on the Door. That was a place you could go see an odd band.
I remember that place.
We had some
There was
places
another
like that.
spot in downtown Montgomery that was like a rock venue, dive bar with a stage. And
Oh,
everything.
yes.
I remember playing there. They did an open mic, and I brought my guitar and amp.
I remember that place, but I couldn't even tell you if it's still there.
No, it's definitely not. Jerry's Juke Joint is
Jerry's
now
Juke
down
Joint,
there.
that's opened up a little
I've
bit,
heard good things about that spot.
But I just don't think we've got that crowd.
And
in
the
Montgomery.
Cloverdale Playhouse has people that I think they still do their guitar pull with people who are singer-songwriters come in, and that's usually a good
That's cool.
scene. But it's not I'm not saying we have to recreate Broadway in Nashville or even New Orleans, like Bourbon Street and whatnot. But it would be nice to have a little more happening scene, and maybe it's just a population issue.
I really think it is. I hate it, but I really think it is.
Yeah. Because folks are like, what? Montgomery's 250,000 people? I'm like, no.
Not really.
I think we're under 200 at this point.
Yep.
Which is
And
not a great
the
sign.
crowd of population we do have, they don't, not like it or not, they don't support a lot of that stuff.
Well, and
they
then,
work.
how many folks that do want to drink and go listen to some music, some blues, some rock and roll, some soul, whatever, stay in Millbrook or stay in Wetumpka, and they got their own bar where they do that sort of thing. I think that goes on a lot.
That happens a lot. Especially with the local legions and that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know, again, there are bands that play like that whole area downtown, but it's not quite as hopping and happening as you would hope. And maybe that's just Montgomery doesn't want that. Doesn't want that sort of over-the-top scene, because it is a scene. I will say Broadway and Nashville, that was a little much for me. I'm a
little bit much.
I'm good. Especially how hot it was. And I'm so
That's
thorough.
where your patience just goes to zero. You got nothing.
And there are a lot of folks having a grand old time. It was Kid Rock's bar.
They're probably
very
well
cool.
lubricated, though.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Right. And you tell you what, it is Bachelorette Central.
Oh, I didn't even think about the Joey.
There's so many
could
women
go there just to make money off the bachelorette parties.
Yeah, right. That sounds wholesome.
Write this down.
That sounds real
Bachelorette.
wholesome.
Hey, it's all about the money, Joey. Money.
Yeah, but just a little bit of drinking. I was like, yeah.
I think I drank, probably should admit it, but I think I drank 2 cases of beer while I was gone.
Well, that's not bad.
I didn't think so. I had a few, the rum punch that Mark would
at
make.
home, they, my brother's really gotten into this, it's called ranch water. It's like more of a manly seltzer that has jalapeno flavor and different, anyway, it's a Texas thing.
Yeah, okay.
So you never drink a seltzer.
Yeah, I remember when I was in like 11th grade, New York Seltzer came out. Chick I was dating told me to try it. I tried it and I went, okay.
No, I mean, you in that shirt, you strike me as a Zima guy.
I did try the Zima when it came out.
Because the commercial, they look really cool.
It did.
Yeah.
And I thought if I held one, I would be cool too.
Right.
No matter how many I held and drank.
Iceman, put down the Zima.
I never made it to the cool.
Right.
I tried though.
No, the ranch water's good.
Yeah.
They have a spicy one that's very good.
You don't get the burps and all that with the seltzer water?
No, with the spicy one, you can't slurp it, or it'll
Burn,
it's like
yeah.
inhaling the capsaicin. Like, ooh,
yeah,
ooh, that's a little much. Yeah, no, I drink a good bit. I got an old fashioned at that Iberian pig place, and they're like, well, it is smoked with like pork fat, and it was all right. I'm like, y'all don't need to be doing that.
Yeah,
that's
what you know.
A little much. Like, I'm good there. Like, that's a gimmick.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's go to line one. Right. You're on there. Who's us?
Hello, fellas.
Hey, Randall.
What's up, brother?
Not much, man. Just missing y'all, but I was going to tell Joy, I said, if you turn that watch off, you wouldn't know what your heart rate and all was doing. Then you could just drink.
Good point, Randall.
Yeah.
Good point.
What you don't know won't hurt.
That's right.
Yeah. So, but on the downtown in Montgomery, man, they have a problem with young folks. And and I want to go ahead and say it's young black folks that they ain't having a problem with. They just don't want them standing around because they thinking that's scaring off the rest of their business.
Right.
And I'm not saying one way or the other it is, but there's a couple dudes that's down there, older fellas that walk around that tell the black folks, like, you've been standing here too long, go ahead and move. They were live on Facebook doing it.
Really?
And yeah, they locked one up live on Facebook because he was standing still too long. And then he said, I told y'all to leave this spot. And now they about to slam downtown with so many cameras.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Did see that while I was gone. Yep.
Well, and somebody did send me a Facebook video there. A big old fight happened right outside, I guess, Alley Bar. And I mean, so it was such a fight that somebody's hair got ripped off their head. I was like, damn.
Wow.
This is something.
Mm-hmm.
It's changed a little bit since I used to go down.
That's something I don't understand. And Randall, maybe you can shed some light on it. And I read about it and see it all the time. Younger people go on vacation. When I'm on vacation, I just want to have a good time.
Yeah.
Relax. Last thing I want to do is fight anybody.
Yeah.
But holy crap, the fights that these people are getting in at resorts and at the beach. What the hell is going on? You go on vacation to fight somebody?
Setting off fireworks in the American Deli?
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see what Carnival's done?
Yeah, I saw that, Randall.
Yeah. No more rap music.
Yep. No more fans.
No that.
Yep. Which I can understand where Carnival's coming from. I've seen a lot of that kind of videos going back and forth of people for it, and most people saying, it's about time because I went on this cruise to have a vacation, not to be harassed and stuck with these thugs at sea for 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll never get it. When I'm on vacation, all I want is a good time. When there's negative people around, we usually get up and leave. I'm on vacation.
Yeah. And negative people draw negative energy, and it takes it away from you. Like you said, you have to get up and get away from it.
Yeah, we just get up and walk away.
Draw your energy.
Yep.
They'll draw your energy away.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I just wanted to call and pick on you about the watch, man. Just
great to hear from
you.
you.
Hey to y'all.
Good to hear from you, Randall.
All right, brother.
Love you, man.
Later, man.
See y'all.
Man, I hadn't talked to Randall in ages.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, no, and like to be perfectly blunt, I'll put it in a nice way, though. I think a big issue with Montgomery, especially something like nightlife and entertainment and the music scene, is what would Dr. King put it? We have a negative piece. Seriously, I think most folks get along just fine in the city. White, black, whatever. They really do. And you think something might be tense. I think everybody here's got the same common sense of humor. In a way, it probably annoys folks that aren't from here, how much we cut up and take our time, so to speak. But I don't think the melting pot is not happening here. It's not a positive piece.
It's not positive. No.
I mean, and you do have folks that all get along and whatnot, but it's not in the same way. If this whole area I mean, the river region was able to sort of focus in and all work together and row in the same direction, kind of have a common cause, I think we could do incredible things.
I agree.
But right now, whether it's leadership or it's just really tough problems, hard to solve, it just ain't happening.
Well, you got a lot of people that don't want the peace, Joey. Don't matter where you're at.
Yeah, that's true too.
I mean, I hate it. I really hate it. But I'll never understand. When I was young, I'm sure I was angry and all that, but not to the point of some of these people that just go out and they're looking for a fight. They're looking for that negative so they can have a negative reaction. And I just don't get it.
Yeah. And then I talked to, talking to Aaron Weber, I'm like, you can come to Montgomery and Impact.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I wish I was selling the 1,000+ seater. I'm like, well, you're about there, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, Impact, Davenport made a great point.
He did.
It is like a time capsule venue at this point in many ways. Like to their credit, they've gotten some great comedians. We got to see Burt there.
Their comedians are top shelf.
Theo Vaughn there.
But a lot of their other acts are, like you said, it's the time capsule type deal. And I always just assume it was money. They didn't want to pay the money. But every time we've gone to these events, and I've gone to several of them, they seem to be sold out. I mean,
the Impact's always been packed. And that would be, our downtown needs to just continue to grow. And maybe with new investment in and around the area, like we talked about this, we'll have the mayor back on, I think next week. And, it's not like every time he's going to come on and sit here and harangue him. But I mean, the 2 times ago, I asked him straight up, why should I stay here? I did not get a good answer.
I was going to say, did you get a
He brought up the light water park. I'm like,
dude, they're letting the tubes go down now.
Yeah, I saw that. And good for them. Like, I hope it works for you guys.
That's what I'm saying. I'm glad they're opening things up. Whatever it takes to keep that thing afloat, that's where we're at.
Yeah, but to me, it seems like the leadership has to figure out a way to get people rowing in the same direction. And that's not just the mayor. There's leaders across the community.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, come on. And it's all the basic stuff. It's education. It's crime. And it is like a sense of we're all in this together sort of mentality. And I don't always get that feeling.
When I'm in the public, and whether I'm at Walmart or wherever, I've never felt like I don't belong.
Sure.
The common people, we all have that in common. Colors doesn't matter. We all have that common bond. But when, I don't know if it's politicians or people, they go looking for that negativity. And that, again, get up and walk away from them, man. Just because you have people like that, that'll never be happy. Like Donald Trump said it, whether it be Donald Trump or whoever. I can do all I can do to make you happy, but there's some people will never be happy because it's me that did it.
I'm, by the way, mostly avoided political conversations on my vacation.
Yeah. I had a few in Jamaica, pretty good ones. From Jamaican point of view, but what's really funny is they're more obsessed with our politics than their own. They've given up on their own. They're just like, it's an orange party or a green party, or red or green, whatever. And like Marvin said, they're both disgusting. They're both disgusting, but that's the choice we have.
Yeah, that's the nature of it, I suppose. And honestly, I look at the state government here.
Oh, you talk about disappointment.
Man, that's a good old boy network if there ever was one. Gum. And I will say, even I left at 5:30 in the morning on Wednesday to get up to Nashville early. At 6:45, there was still a bottleneck, just dead stop traffic on the interstate right outside of Birmingham. No wreck. No good reason.
Traffic.
I'm like, what the hell is that? Now, it was fine. I got through it and I got past Birmingham pretty damn quick.
Yeah.
At Nashville quite early. And like after Birmingham, there's a little construction. It was a little annoying on the road. Kicking up stuff. Almost cracked the windshield.
Yeah.
But generally, like especially the northern part of the state, the roads are beautiful. It is a beautiful drive as you get the Appalachian, like the mountains start
traffic's
growing.
Flowing is beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful. But something's going on right there in that right before Birmingham where you're like, tag gum. Like, I'm glad I left early.
Yeah.
But it's we have a beautiful state. This whole area is quite beautiful. And it's just a matter of all making it hum and work together.
Poor managers. That's the only way I can say it.
Yeah, well, we're the ones who elect them. Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's us?
Yeah, hey, it's just me trying to be a non-local snob. even though I'm from here, I try to disown it whenever I'm traveling.
Yeah.
Because it's embarrassing. You know, we look at the white flight, no problem there. However, they've done nothing with it. I've never seen such a sorry suburb as Prattville and Millbrook. Their size has stayed stagnant for God knows how long. They've done damage to Montgomery by drawing population out of Montgomery, because it's Montgomery's fault for not holding on to the people, don't get me wrong. But those places have done nothing with the increase in population they've got.
Millbrook hasn't done nothing?
They haven't drawn anybody from outside the area. They're not drawing people from outside the area. You know that, Eddie. You're in real estate.
I know. I sell houses in Millbrook all the time from people outside the area.
You do, but you sell houses from people in the geographic area.
That's a lot of military. Especially a lot of military. But right now in Prattville, that 21 Springs program or whatever they have there, that sports complex, it's huge, dude. It's drawing people from all over.
Okay, good. I'm happy. I want, if they're going to do it, I want them to be successful at it, because it helps the general area out, because it helps the metropolitan area out.
Definitely. Now, Prattville, I'm not so sure about. I don't get involved so much over there. I sell a lot over there, but it's kind of a bigger city.
I think Millbrook is a little more dynamic than Prattville. Prattville seems to have some kind of xenophobic situation going when it comes to strangers. But that's another thing. We really have got to get downtown back to past 2019 level.
Yeah.
You know, we had really gotten people out of their houses around before 2019. And we've got to get them back out of their houses again and back into the atmosphere.
Oh, I agree 100%.
Yeah, won't argue with that.
Yeah. By the way, are you going to bring up the new Civic Center with the mayor?
Sure, why not?
Are we going to keep that on the forefront?
Yeah, we can bring up the new Civic Center. Yeah.
But, you know, I really hate to be in such a large black city, never to have gotten the Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock show is sad.
That is very true.
You know, I never even considered that.
I mean,
right.
The Acadome, you and I both know the Acadome could have easily accommodated that.
Well, because they had a huge show when EJI opens up, right? Like a massive show with big names. But you're right. Why don't you have more black comedians and music acts rolling through and doing a fairly medium-sized venue in Montgomery?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there's at least 5,000 seats.
Yeah.
It's done, right?
Yeah.
I don't get that. That's as big as the pot.
Especially the comedian point, because they have been on point with their comedians lately. So that's a good question.
But anyway, I get what you're saying about Nashville. I really think Nashville's been poisoned to the South, because that's the one city in the South, just like I want to say probably Charlotte or Charleston, that let the real estate get out of control as far as price point.
Oh, yeah, it's very expensive. One cheap where my brothers live.
Yeah.
We can knock Atlanta all day long, but there were times that you could get houses cheaper in Atlanta than you could Montgomery. Yeah. Atlanta has always kept itself in a good place.
I really appreciate about Nashville is it had the big city feel without things like Atlanta traffic and like just the nightmare of that. Like it had all the options without it being too overwhelming.
Is there a subway in Nashville yet?
Is there a subway?
I don't remember.
Not that I noticed.
I don't think so.
But the interstate system, I'd imagine like everywhere, 5 o'clock traffic probably is bad, but it was very easy to get around, unlike, say, other big cities.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoyed it. I'll definitely be visiting my brother and them up there again. A lot to do. But I appreciate it, Urbanite.
See you, Urbanite.
272-9228, talking down Millbrook.
I love me some Millbrook. And I just do. I got nothing negative to say. Kelly's my best
I
friend.
did wear my Auburn hat one day. Somebody's like, wherever you're from in Alabama. And he was just joking around. It was funny. But it was like, okay.
Well, the look on people's face when you tell them you're from Alabama, I mean, like it or not, we got a stereotype. And most people seem genuinely curious when you say from Alabama. They're like, well, you're not the stereotype that I thought, when you say Alabama.
It's all types of people here.
Yeah.
They really are.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this?
Real Talk.
Hey, Real Talk.
What's going on, fellas?
Not much.
What's up, man?
Hey, on the nightlight issue, man, I was born and raised in the Montgomery area, and I'm in my mid-40s now, but, Montgomery, as far as the nightlife goes, they had a chance to really capitalize to get people coming in down there. And there were a couple spots here and there.
Yeah.
But the thing with nightlife, guys, this is what, people got to understand. If people don't feel safe then women are not going to come.
You're right.
If women are not going to come, then men are not going to come.
Yep.
That's point blank. That's it. Until they get a handle on the crime downtown, then you're not going to have people want to come in, special interest investors come in and invest into real nightlife downtown. I mean, still to this day, you know, I got a family, you know, we don't do that much no more, but when we want to go out a couple times a year, me and my wife, we'll plan a trip to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Sure. You know, we'll go somewhere where there's world-class DJs. We'll book a hotel. You know, people want to be able to put something nice on, go into a low-lit area.
Yeah.
You know, and you got country music around here. You used to have Sue Laterre that had blues. You had some places that had some good bands.
Yep.
Off the Wagon was that spot you were thinking of earlier.
That's right. Yep.
And that was a good little spot years ago. But as far as world-class nightlife, 4- and 5-star places, you know, you got to bring in world-class DJs for stuff like that. And you got to have a really nice spot. If, you know, in the alley in the downtown area, man, they're set up beautifully for something like that. Beautifully. But until people feel safe, nothing's ever going to change. Nothing's ever going to change.
Well, I think this is a real good call, real talk, and you're hitting a lot of good notes. And it's not like it's impossible to fix. You're right. But the change needs to be done.
Yeah, it's got to be done. Can it be done? You know, it is realistically, you know, is it too far gone?
Well,
But that's what I worry about.
That's up to, I think, a lot of leadership. And I'm not just talking elected officials, though. They are included. Going to take a lot of good decision making going forward. But in particular, start getting your force levels up and your strategy a little better. And I think you're right. The safety factor is a very real thing.
Look, when y'all go out, when you were younger, well, you're still young, Joey. You know, Eddie, both y'all. When you go out somewhere, your main deciding factor when you go somewhere is you want to be around a bunch of people and a bunch of beautiful women. Correct?
Correct.
Yep.
Oh yes.
All right. So the key to getting, you know, beautiful women to come out, to throw their best on, and go to a place where they want to hang out and be around a bunch of people is, one, they got to feel safe. You know, two, they want to go somewhere where it's going to be entertaining and fun and something different. You know, you got your outskirts places like the range. That's got your good old boys. And look, I'm from Alabama, born and raised, but variety's the spice of life. I like it all.
Right.
I like the rock, the country spots, but you know, same spot every time can get old and boring. And even these people that are going to all these places that have been there a long time, if we had a world-class, you know, nightlife area that brought in a world-class DJ once or twice a month, and they marketed the place right with a dress code, security, and police to make people feel safe, the place would explode.
Yeah.
It would completely explode. You know, because they're desperate for something to do. Now more than ever. There's nothing to do around here. That's why your younger generation, they're cutting loose. They're finding other places to go. They're moving to Florida, you know, or Nashville, like you said, or Georgia, or places to where if they want to be able to, you know, they work hard.
Yep.
They want to get out and do something.
They want to play hard.
Yep. Weekends.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Well, I got in my break, but great call. A lot of good points. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Real Talk.
All right, man. Thanks.
Hey, buddy.
All right, man.
I'll tell you this, Joey. It ain't been the same since the Zip closed down.
Yeah.
Montgomery lost something there.
Thank God you didn't say the Love Shack.
No, that was a Zip too. I'm telling you, it ain't been the same.
I found
since the Zip
myself
closed down.
not driving, but I found myself drunk as a skunk, sitting in the Love Shack having a moment of clarity, like, what the hell am I doing?
Only once?
Yeah. Once was enough. That last time.
Well, some of us have to learn our lessons the hard way.
No, man. No, the last time I was there, it was an emergency call, like, come pick me up. I want to get out of here. And I was not happy having to
So
stop.
I guess you never had one of their steaks? All right. See, we eat at different venues.
Yeah. It does. No, but you're right. As soon as the Zip went away,
Montgomery lost something, man.
Yeah. Whatever happened to the Atlanta Highway Vaughn Road entertainment options?
Man. Yeah, there was. But even as a kid, Montgomery, I mean, we made our own fun.
Sure.
And we don't have all the benefits of big city, but honestly, I don't know if we'll ever get them. I used to think that we would grow into that, but yeah. As I moved to Titus.
There you go. We got to hit this break. Be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This is David Ernest from the Health and Wealth Show. We like to cut up and have fun, maybe poke a little fun at some politicians. But we don't take ourselves too seriously. One thing we do take seriously is your personal finances and your plans for retirement. You can tell by listening, we're a little different. Yeah, we like to have a good time on the radio, but we're dead serious about your financial future and helping you achieve your goals. At Ernest Financial, we're committed to giving you the attention you need. We don't treat you like a number. You're way more important to us. At Ernest Financial, it's about helping you today and preparing you for tomorrow. People call us who are on the verge of retirement, and they know they need a plan for the future. No matter where you are in life, Ernest Financial will help guide your every step towards retirement. Give us a call and let us show you what our individual customer attention can do for your future.
Concerned about your retirement? Call David Ernest toll-free at 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-SAFE.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
They curl up at our feet. They greet us like heroes. Pets aren't just animals. They're family. But right now, so many in our local shelters are still waiting for someone to call their own. That's why we're teaming up with River Region Humane Societies for our annual Paw It Forward Pet Drive. And we need your help. Starting next week, help us stuff the Sprinter van with food, toys, blankets, and badly needed supplies at any of our 6 sponsor locations. Together, we can give these animals the comfort they need while they wait for the love they deserve.
To find out how you can help, visit newstalk931.com.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole. This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where over-the-road dump truck drivers are needed right now. Home twice a week and every weekend, must leave early on Sunday with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Call them now at 855-777-9785.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Hi, everybody. No surprise, big heat, lots of humidity, and random storms will dominate our forecast. High today and tomorrow about 96, heat index triple-digit level. Sunshine will be in abundance, but there will be those scattered, random afternoon and evening showers and storms dotting the radar screen. Some towns get a big downpour, other towns get skipped. That scenario continues through Wednesday. By Thursday, the storms will be a little bit more numerous. Lows at night in the muggy mid-70s, and even Wednesday and Thursday highs will still be in the middle 90s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
You can make your ASE loan payment from your phone anytime, anywhere. It's quick and easy. YourASECreditUnion.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal Opportunity Lender.
ASE Credit Union. Your life, your cause, your ASE.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Oh no, look who it is on the phone.
What?
I think he just did a little bit of a vacation himself. Duke, what's up?
What's going on, my man?
How you been doing, buddy?
Everything's cool.
That's good to hear.
Warm, lukewarm.
Lukewarm.
All the above. Yeah. Saw that crazy traffic yesterday.
Oh, you tried to get out of that yesterday?
Something needs to be done on 65 Butter Road. We'll talk about that another day, but
65 North was a mess yesterday. Thank God I was going south.
Well, anyway, gave me a headache. Mr. Joey, that'll be a good investment for you, dude. Build us a nice first-class nightclub.
Joey's Boom Boom Room.
Yeah, I'll create it like the one in Night at the Roxbury, the Inside Outside Club.
You want one of those big instant buildings downtown, how elevator going up to the club, you know what I'm saying? Where eliminate people parking in the parking lot wanting to do a drive-by, so what about it, Joey?
Right, especially if the music is exclusively Italian disco.
Ooh.
Mm.
You have like 2 or 3 clubs in the same spot,
Yeah, right.
That's where the trouble starts.
I don't think that's in the cards for me.
No,
I don't think that sort of investment is
club
in the
owner.
No.
valet parking only, you wean out. You got to get your plan where you can wean out the bad folks.
Good luck, man. I've seen so many people try to do that, Duke, around here.
No, I have had the thought of like a more of an intimate music venue where you could do like a radio show from it, but you could have a small concerts and stuff that are recorded and filmed really nicely. Like that would probably work in Montgomery if somebody had the money to put it up. I
Jubilee. I used to love the Jubilee.
Jubilee was a lot of fun. Yeah.
They just
saw a lot of great bands.
Yeah, they just don't make money, I guess, in the end.
Well, and saw like Taylor Swift before she was a big deal. Saw
Really?
John Mayer before he
chance
really
to
hit
stop
it big.
her, and you didn't.
What do you mean?
You could have told her she sucked, and maybe we wouldn't have to be dealing with Taylor Swift right now.
Nah, it was like that poor girl, gangly thing.
She ain't ever gonna
She ain't
amount to
doing
nothing.
nothing.
Hey, Joe, I'm about to shock a few of the callers right here.
Oh, boy. All right, here we go.
Wait. You almost said, hey, boy.
Hey, boy.
Oh, no.
Now, me and the wife hung out down there on the Gulf for a couple days down there on the beach, Gulf Shores. And so we went down, went down near Orange Beach, and I asked a few people. I said, where's a nice party spot? Me and my wife want to celebrate her birthday a little bit. So
that's good.
I said, I want to go where the white folks hang out at. I said, I'm hanging out with the hood cats. I said, I don't feel like running. I got too old to run. Oh, they thought that was funny, man. And so they told me about the Floribama thing down there, the big old place.
So the Floribama. Dude, you ended up at the Floribama.
We went up in that bad boy around 5 something. And she had a good time, boy. Whipping this thing and journey music along with the band and everything with everybody, and we on 2 spots in there. Me and a couple more people on 2 spots up in there, but we didn't look at it as, I'm afraid of these white folks. I'm not, I fought with white folks all the time in the past.
Yeah.
So, man, we need something like that, man, where live bands can play and feel the room.
Sure. It's just coastal white folks, like the Redneck Riviera is a different type of white people. Like it really, and that stretches into New Orleans and a lot of Florida too. It's a different culture altogether than what we got up here.
Much more laid back.
Yeah, a lot more laid back, a lot more drinking, a lot more music, a lot more of a good time.
Yeah. Yep.
But Joey, let me tell you something, Brother Rope. Now, when I used to party back in the day a little bit, I used to hang out some of the black bars, but Top Flight used to be my spot.
Top Flight. What about Diamonds? You didn't go to Diamonds?
Yeah, I did some work for Diamonds back in the day, but I ain't like Diamonds. But the thugs started kicking it up in high gear, boy. The Top Flight one night. I was up in that bad boy, getting a little older at the time, so I still like to dance a little bit. So I went up in there, and 5 fights broke out that night, mister. 5 of them.
Damn.
And then the last one, the last time I tried to run, I didn't leave right away, because they old boys, they got it under control right away.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to run from the next one. My leg hit one of those bar stools upstairs. Oh boy! I went to cussing it going on. I dragged my way out of that boy. I didn't go back anymore. So, and that's what. A few years later, they started shooting real bad.
Yeah.
They used to fit like those times back in those days. But I can't party with my people, especially younger crews. Younger groups, and like. Age, you shouldn't put an age on having a good time, okay?
Sure, right.
Me and my wife want to have a good time. We on vacation for a few days, so we want to have a good time, like they said. See, we're not. That's the reason I told these people. I told the police officer that. I asked her. I said, "What's this spot?" You know. I said, "I want to go where the white folks hang out at." Oh, she laughed about that. I said, "Yeah, I'm serious about this." I said, "I'm not." I said, "My people lost their damn mind. They want to shoot up every damn thing." I said, "We got something called a trail ride. The older black people can have a good time at the trail ride. These young thugs shoot the damn thing up."
They sure. I don't understand that either, dude. I don't understand that.
I don't blame white folks. I want food with little season. Now, be honest. Damn, going downtown if you got to run every time.
Yeah. Well, and then I'm going to see you the next day limping and be like, "Damn, dude, did you get shot?"
Yeah.
No, Joey, I pulled a hamstring.
That's right. Pull the hamstring.
You know.
Pull the hammy.
But hey, I heard Auburn got a nice bar. That old man, a nice little spot.
Auburn?
What's that? Yeah.
Auburn's got all sorts of bars.
Up there, Auburn, yeah.
I mean, that's the college town for it.
Auburn a while ago.
I kind of feel like if we went there, Duke, they would think that we either owned it or work in security.
The big one is still, I think, Sky Bar. And last time I was in there, I was like 26, 27. I'm like, I'm too old.
Were you the old person there?
Yeah, that place is packed to the gills with young folks.
Tina Bopper Club, in other words. Okay.
Yeah.
In food with Tina Boppers.
Yeah, I was like, let's go to the one that looks like a speakeasy with a nice like marble countertop so we can get a nice cocktail, guys. Like this being sweat on by 6 different dudes trying to get some. Like as I'm trying to, hey, let me get 3 Jaeger bombs, 3 get 5.
Hey, let me tell you what your boy did the other day down there.
What's that?
That little hangout, that little place down there, go to a little hangout spot where you can do the little pull up with the chin up thing.
Oh yeah.
Shoot, I got me 59 seconds on that thing, boy.
Wait, you held on for 59 seconds?
I almost had it, man. I almost had it. I've been there watching.
That's pretty good, dude.
That is pretty good, dude.
You got that grip strength.
I've been there watching these other cats do it, man. And I said, man, I can count this thing.
I'm starting to guess what you used to do for diamonds. Got that grip strength. Well, I got to run, Duke. I appreciate it, man.
Hey, well, I'll let you, Duke. See you, brother.
No, that's hilarious. He went down, cut a rug at the Floribama. That place, I've had some fun times there.
Yes. That's an institution.
Yeah, that place is, that's something else. Especially on a big weekend when it's packed out. And like multiple floors and like, yeah, that's an interesting scene.
Very much so.
And am I not right about the coastal culture?
Oh, big difference.
So different.
Laid back. Those are people, and I love them, that have decided that lifestyle is better than chasing the dollar.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we're at. This is where we want to be. We want to be happy. I get it. Anyway, I want to be them.
We got to hit this break. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. Recently, I met with 3 different owners of homes who had the same problem. They wanted to sell their house quick and sell it as is for cash. All 3 people were approached by different investors that said they had cash for their home, signed contracts, only to find out they were not personally going to buy their homes, but to find a buyer willing to pay more than they offered and pocket the difference. It's called wholesaling. Offer a contract to buy a house at a certain price, up to price to other buyers, and pocket the difference. I urge you, don't fall for it. You want to sell your home quick, use a licensed professional realtor, as I have been for 48 years, keeping promises to get homes sold quick. For all the details, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group at 221-2883 or 551-0225. Call Bo Goodson at 221-2883.
CM truck beds, built to work, built to last. From a simple flatbed to a rugged aluminum truck bed, CM truck beds are built by the best in the industry, and you can see the difference. Rated B&W hitches, plug-and-play modular sealed wiring harnesses, LED lights, 1/8-inch steel tread decks, premium powder coat finishes. CM truck beds has a bed for you. Flatbeds, dump beds, beds with tail spikes. The side boxes and accessories are just as tough and durable. All of the CM truck beds are available for you now at Airport Trailer. Visit Airport Trailer today or call 288-5785. Make your truck and trailer come to life at Airport Trailer.
Hey, this is Troy with All Access Overhead Door. We've been advertising with Blue Water, and trust me, it works. Take it from me. You need to get your business out there in the river region. You can count on Blue Water Broadcasting. And remember, You need an overhead door repair, and you can count on All Access Overhead Doors.
Radio works. It's as simple as that. Call us to find out how radio can work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray.
Hey, Joey.
Hey, how you doing?
There you are. Hey, I missed you last week. Y'all have a good vacation?
Oh, it's great.
Absolutely.
Good for you. I tell you what, we all stay down here and just slaved away until the 4th, and then I don't want to see another rib for a month.
Wow.
Because I cooked 4 racks, and then Emma didn't come back, so we've been eating on ribs ever since. Because you can't depend on your kids to tell you that they're going to be here or not.
No, kids are that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is what it is, I suppose.
Yep.
And the kitten's doing really good. We found a name for it.
Oh, yeah? What's your name?
May May.
May May?
And it's something Sailor came up with. She's told me twice why she's named it May May, and I couldn't repeat it. I don't know.
Was it from a show?
No, I think because the cat it has something to do with the Japanese language, and the cat was born in May.
Huh.
So that's all I got out of it.
Yeah, there are definitely some anime characters named May May.
Yeah. Well, she comes up with stuff, it goes over my head, and I just say,
Oh, yeah, there you go. Good job,
yeah,
Ray.
and act like I know what she's talking about.
Exactly.
And then I go to the room and say, Angie, what is she talking about? She's like, I don't know.
Dad, have you never watched Jujutsu Kaisen?
Exactly. Oh, I got a shot for that.
Yeah, hey, we've got Pergo month going on, which is a really, really cool deal. Pergo has offered 12 months, same as cash. So they're not marking it up. A lot of times when they do this 12 months, same as cash, they charge us like a crazy number that's free. They're not charging me anything. And they're offering $1,000 rebate, up to $1,000 rebate. And so basically, every foot you buy, you get 30 cents off a square foot.
Oh, that's
of the
cool.
material. A really good deal. We can come out and give you a free measurement today, tomorrow, whenever. But it starts with a phone call, 285-8117. We'll come out and give you that free measurement.
Just that simple, folks. Again, that number, 285-8117. And be sure to tell them you heard Ray Bowles on the radio with Joey and Eddie.
Oh, one more thing. Do we have 2 more seconds?
Yeah.
Eddie,
yes.
Have you ever seen the cars in Alaska that fly off the cliff for 4th of July?
Yeah, Glacier Creek, I think is the name of the place. I've actually gone there when they first started doing it 20-something years ago. It's amazing.
The church does it, right?
Yeah, it's amazing,
So
man.
Ron went this year, and he came back on fire. He's like, it's the most 4th of July American redneck thing you can experience in your life.
Yep. It's the truth.
Amazing. But get this. He's going to try to sign a private carpet car for next year. What do you think?
Oh, I think that's a great idea, Ray. Great advertisement, too, man.
Yeah, we could park the car back here, have people come by and sign it every time somebody buys the floor. We could put News Talk on there, too, private carpet and News Talk. And send the
great
car off
idea.
the cliff. What do you think?
I'm so down with this.
That's
Thing.
fun.
Funny. Yeah. I've got a picture of Joey, a sticker of Joey we can put on there with a cowboy hat.
And then we'll talk to News Talk about flying us all up there to be there. What do you think?
Even better, and I got us a place to stay. So yeah, y'all take care of the airfare. I got a place to stay. Yeah.
No. We need News Talk to pay for the airfare, Joe. You got to get on the same plane, guys.
Do they have a crop duster that flies from here to there?
Y'all got it. Come on now. They got more money than we do.
Good. Thanks. Good to hear from you, Ray. Glad you had a good forum.
All right, we'll talk about this idea a little bit more later down the road.
All right, man. We'll see you, Ray.
Right, bye, guys.
Let's go to James real quick. Hey, James, how you doing?
Okay, man. Millbrook. The development is 17 Spring.
Thank you.
Okay. Joey, I'm borrowing from Dr. James Dobson here.
Mm-hmm.
An observation I heard him make on the radio once. In Africa, where you have wildlife refuges, occasionally elephants and other organisms will get overpopulated. So man's genius, we go out there and we thin the elephant herd, and oftentimes what they do is they remove the older males. And as a result, when younger males come along, they have no, what is the word I'm looking for? No example set, nothing to follow. In other words, no one to raise those younger males when you eliminate the older male. There's no behavior pattern for them to learn from. Are you following me?
Sure.
So now these younger rogue males run around bullying the rest of the animals because of their size. It hasn't been demonstrated to them the proper docile behavior of a full-grown bull elephant.
Mm-hmm.
Am I making sense, Joey, or do I have to continue this?
No, you're loud
everybody...
and clear, sir.
Okay. All right. Joey, everything going well, man?
Yeah, life's good. It was a good trip to see my little niece up there in Nashville.
Okay. Well, I'm
every day, honestly, it is consuming a cynical political world and spitting it back out to folks, and seeing that little girl makes my heart sing. Something so genuine and innocent there. So even the tantrum she threw at night.
Are you hearing what I'm hearing, Eddie?
Yeah, my man wants a baby.
And Joey, it's never too late, baby.
That's right.
All right. We're out of time. Thanks, James.
See you, James.
So good to have you back, man.
Good to be back.
Good to be back.
It is good to be back.
And I guess we'll do something like this tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Hopefully the news gets better. I know.
Yeah.
We're going to start another conversation about how we get the clubs back in Montgomery.
Dude, all I know is we bought a lottery ticket, and that's where my money's at right now.
Okay.
That's where my investment is at.
Y'all stay tuned. Happy Hour with Greg Bedell and Pamela. They're next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it